This video continues with Chapter 60 Big Wedding. It turns out that you are only interested in my money, please order first. Dragon Ball, the God of Destruction's sign-in system. Chapter 60 Big Wedding. It turns out that you are only interested in my money, please order first. Chapter 60 Big Marriage. So you just see my money crunch. Kahn was about to go out to find Vados at the Universal Capsule Company when the door was suddenly pushed open. It was Vados who came back. I saw that Vados was carrying some ingredients in his hand, obviously just went out to buy vegetables. Seeing Kahn staring at him, Vados blinked and asked curiously, "Husband? Why are you looking at me like this? Is there something on my face?" "Oh nope." Kahn went to help Vados put the dishes in the refrigerator and said, "You were not at home when I came back. I thought you went to help Bulma, so I was going to go out to find you." "Haha, so you missed me." Vados smiled and said, "Bulma has enough manpower. I don't need my help, but husband, you need to prepare. This is not in a hurry." Kahn also sat down, put his arms around Vados' fragrant shoulders and asked, "Honey, do you know Angel?" "Ah, what Angel, husband? Do you mean Mr. Wise?" Vados rested his jade finger on his chin and said thoughtfully, "I remember that Mr. Wise seemed to say when he came to Earth, what kind of angel is he from the 7th universe? So Angel looks like this?" Vados looked at Kahn curiously, as if he had never seen anything in the world. Ahem. Kahn tactfully coughed. "Yes, it's just like Wise. It seems that there is nothing to be asked by asking this way. If she really wants to hide it on purpose, it will be even more impossible to get the answer I want by asking this way." Kahn thought secretly. Although Kahn had various conjectures and clues pointing to his wife being the original 6th universe Angel Vados, she did not admit it personally, and Kahn did not dare to affirm it. Without Vados' own admission, Kahn's body is like 10,000 ants crawling. But it seems that there is no rush. If the Vados in front of me is really Angel Vados from the original 6th universe, then time will tell. If you continue to press at this moment, it may have the opposite effect. "So Angel looks like this," Vados said, "but why did my husband suddenly ask me such a question?" "Haha, it's okay, it's just a sudden whim." Kahn let out a laugh and ended the subject. 3 days passed in a blink of an eye. Kahn and Bulma's big wedding day is approaching. The wedding took place at the estate of the Magnum Capsule Company. Compared with the last time, Kahn's wedding with Bulma is more luxurious this time. Earth Z fighters, relatives and friends, Dr. Brive and his wife, Bulma's sister Tacy and others were all present. Witness the wedding of Kahn and Bulma. Everyone knows why Kahn married Vados and Bulma. In the past, before Kahn married Vados, Kahn and Bulma were an enviable couple, but they broke up peacefully for some reasons. So Kahn will marry Bulma, which is unexpected but also reasonable at the wedding. Everyone is wishing that Kahn and Bulma will finally get married as lovers. Of course, the happiest are today's newcomers Kahn and Bulma. The wedding continued into the evening, and the guests left one after another. On the 2nd floor platform, Kahn was sitting on a chair, holding the back of his head with his hands, looking up at a bright moon in the sky and the stars surrounding the bright moon. Vados and Bulma, who was wearing a wedding dress, sat on the left and right of Kahn, respectively. Like the stars holding the moon. Life is like a play. Kahn sighed in his heart. As a social animal in his previous life, after traveling to the world of Dragon Ball, he reached the pinnacle of his life instead. Hugging left and right is the lifelong dream of many men. Now he has. Vados is gentle, virtuous, and considerate. Bulma is warm and lively, the richest man in the world, and a proper rich woman. "Bulma, we're a family from today on." Vados, sitting to Kahn's right, smiled. "Of course." Bulma smiled brightly and then put his hands on his chest, proudly said, "Husband, from tomorrow onwards, you and Sister Vados don't have to grow vegetables anymore. Who made your wife and I the richest man in the world?" Seeing Bulma's smug face, Kahn teased, Then why do you think I married you? What did you say? Hearing this, Bulma frowned brightly, pouted and said, So you're only interested in my money. Ha ha. Looking at Bulma's cute pouting face, Kahn was amused. Are you kidding me? Am I this kind of person? Bulma crossed his hands. I don't care. I'm angry. Zero Baji. As soon as Bulma finished speaking, he felt a burst of warmth on his cheeks. She glanced at her eyes, and then she pretended to be arrogant and said, Okay, I forgive you. Of course, she also knew that Kahn was just joking with her just now, and it was not the first day she knew Kahn, and it could even be said that she knew himself better than Kahn. Therefore, it is not necessary for Kahn to explain who Kahn is. Bulma couldn't be more clear. After checking that the time was almost up, Kahn got up immediately. Wife, go back and rest the next day. Starting today, Kahn's life is officially on track. After marrying Bulma, he and Vados moved out of the mushroom house on the outskirts of Zidu and came to live in Universal Capsule Company for a long time. Zero Doctor. Brive has no son, and his eldest daughter, Tacy, is a cartoonist. Now she is working outside to experience life. Bulma inherited Dr. Brive's mantle and became the world's top scientist, so, even after Dr. Brive's death in the future, most of the property of the Magnum Capsule Company will belong to Bulma. And after marrying Kahn, Bulma even belongs to Kahn, so why would he care about property? So, the Universal Capsule Company became Kahn's new home. After marrying Bulma, Kahn also suspended his practice and concentrated on spending time with his two wives, living a happy life without shame or impatience. During the next month, it is definitely the happiest life Kahn has ever lived in his past and present lives. A month later this day, Kahn sat in the back garden drinking tea and playing chess with his two wives as usual. Mr. Kahn, can you hear me? At this moment, Y's voice suddenly came from above his head. It's Wise. Kahn looked up to the sky. I can hear you. What's wrong? Wise. Is that the guy from back then? Bulma asked. The name Wise is a bit old, but she still has a little impression, because the person who came to the earth to keep Kahn safe was Wise. Vados nodded slightly and said, I think it should be, but what does he want to find a husband? At this time, Y's voice came again. Mr. Kahn, can I come here? I need your help with something. 9. Chapter 61 Gods of Destruction Summit. I will step on your bones to the top of the altar of the Grea. Chapter 61 Gods of Destruction Summit. I will step on your bones and climb to the top of the great Gods of Destruction altar. Beerus Star. Returning to Beerus again, Kahn is like returning to his own home, no stranger at all. Sitting down across from Wise, Kahn asked, Wise, can you help me with anything? Of course. A gleam flashed in Wise's eyes and said, Mr. Kahn, I wonder if you have heard of the Gods of Destruction Summit. Gods of Destruction Summit. Hearing this, Kahn immediately put away his idle attitude and asked enthusiastically, What is this stuff? It sounds like a lot of fun. Immediately, Wise introduced the so-called Gods of Destruction Summit to Kahn. The so-called Gods of Destruction Summit is a martial arts conference held between the 12 universe gods of destruction every 100 years. 12 universes of gods of destruction will be participating. This is a tradition that has been handed down many years before May 97. And winning the crown at the Gods of Destruction Summit is an opportunity to try to make the big Gods of Destruction staff recognize its owner. In the Dragon Ball world, there are big angels like the Grand Priest, angel who manages 12 universes. But there is not one great Gods of Destruction that governs the 12 universe Gods of Destruction, because in the current Dragon Ball world, there has not yet appeared a Gods of Destruction that can be recognized by the large Gods of Destruction staff. Therefore, every 100 years, a Gods of Destruction Summit will be held to strive for an early election of candidates for the great Gods of Destruction. So far, no one has ever pulled out the big Gods of Destruction staff, and no one knows what is the prerequisite for the big Gods of Destruction staff to recognize its master. Maybe it's powerful strength, maybe it's perseverance, or maybe it's monstrous potential and talent. Or maybe all three. And according to Grand Priest, as long as you can pull out the big Gods of Destruction staff, it means that the staff has recognized you. Whoever pulls out the staff will become the first Grand Gods of Destruction under the current Xeno ruling system. The status of the Great Gods of Destruction is equal to the Grand Priest, who is the head of the Great Angel, certainly. The prerequisite for being a Great Gods of Destruction is that you have enough strength to make the 12 Universe Gods of Destruction willing to call you king. Otherwise, even if you become a Great Gods of Destruction, if your strength is not as good as Gods of Destruction, then you, the Great Gods of Destruction, will have no majesty at all. The world of Dragon Ball is just such a world. The strong is respected, and the victor is king. Without great strength, it is nothing. After giving Kahn a detailed introduction to the Gods of Destruction Summit, Wise added, "Considering that Lord Beerus is sleeping now, I don't want to disturb him, so I can only think of asking you to temporarily replace Lord Beerus to attend this summit." The next Gods of Destruction Summit. On the one hand, Beerus is sleeping. On the other hand, Wise is also thinking about Vados. Although Kahn's current strength is not weak, but in the Gods system under Xeno's rule, it is still not strong. Most importantly, Kahn's identity is human. It stands to reason that it is not worthy of the status of Vados Angel. Therefore, if Kahn wants to be worthy of Vados in terms of identity, he must become the Great Gods of Destruction. This time the Gods of Destruction Summit is undoubtedly the best time. That's all Wise can do to help. So, Mr. Kahn, I wonder if you are interested in the Gods of Destruction Summit? Interesting. Kahn raised his mouth and said excitedly, I participated. It was Kahn's dream to compete with Gods of Destruction from the 12 universes. Now I am afraid that only the Gods of Destruction and the Grey Giant, who is known as the strongest human being, can arouse Kahn's desire to fight. The most important thing is that if you win the crown at the Gods of Destruction Summit, you will have another chance to try to make the big Gods of Destruction staff recognize the owner. This is the main thing. Angel's staff is already strong enough. The big Gods of Destruction staff can't be weaker than Angel's. Oops. Wise was a little surprised that Kahn agreed so simply. He had expected Kahn to hesitate. Immediately, Wise smiled lightly and said, Then it's decided. This time you will attend the Gods of Destruction Summit as the 7th Universe Gods of Destruction candidate. Kahn nodded and said he had no opinion. Where is the venue? Big Gods of Destruction Circle. Big Gods of Destruction Circle. It is a space independent of the 12 universes. Similar to the kind of space Xeno Palace is in. Also the space where the Palace of the Great Gods of Destruction is located. However, since there is currently no Great Gods of Destruction in office, the Great Gods of Destruction realm is still in a state of no owner, and to enter the Great Gods of Destruction realm, 12 universe angels need to work together to open a path leading to the Great Gods of Destruction realm Isle. After a little reorganization, Wise led Kahn to the rendezvous point in the first universe. When Wise and Kahn arrived at the assembly point, Gods of Destruction and angels from the other 11 universes had already arrived. Sorry for being a little late arriving at the meeting place, Wise said seriously. Shout, it's really a big error. Every time your 7th universe comes the latest. The 4th universe Gods of Destruction Quitela folded his hands on his chest and said sarcastically, Quitela and Beerus are not easy to deal with, so Quitela will not let go of any opportunity to ridicule Beerus. It doesn't seem to be Beerus. Is the 7th universe replaced by Gods of Destruction? The 10th universe Gods of Destruction Rumschi was also a little dissatisfied with Beerus's behavior of being late every session, but when he took a closer look, he realized that it wasn't Beerus who came. It was a strange face. After Rumschi said this, the Gods of Destruction and Angel cast their sights over. Why is this evil star? Seeing Kahn Setsuna, Champa's psychological shadow came up again, and he couldn't help but shudder. It's not the psychological shadow that Kahn gave him. but the psychological shadow that Grand Priest gave him. The Grand Priest had warned him that day not to trouble Kahn again. What? Beerus was too scared to come, so he found someone to take the place of the dead ghost. Gods of Destruction Vermut, the clown of the 11th universe, taunted with disdain. Could it be that he didn't dare to come because he was afraid that I would break his leg? Seeing that it wasn't Beerus who came, Terra became even more excited. Other gods of destruction are also being talked about. Generally speaking, the Gods of Destruction summits are personally attended by the Gods of Destruction of each universe, so Kahn immediately became the focus of discussion of the Gods of Destruction of each universe. Listening to all kinds of malicious and cynical speculations from various universe Gods of Destruction in 2.0, Wise explained, since Mr. Beerus is unable to attend this Gods of Destruction summit due to some force majeure factors, the 7th universe Gods of Destruction candidate Mr. Kahn will attend this Gods of Destruction summit in place of Lord Beerus. After finishing speaking, Wise winked at Kahn. Without Wise reminding him, Kahn naturally knew that at this time he had to leave a deep impression on these self-righteous and arrogant Gods of Destruction. Otherwise, everyone would really think that he is a persimmon and can be manipulated at will. Immediately, Kahn took a step forward, glanced at the remaining 11 Gods of Destruction, and the extremely arrogant words resounded in the ears of every Gods of Destruction and Angel. I, Kahn, have come to this Gods of Destruction summit with one purpose. I will step on your bones to the top of the altar of the great Gods of Destruction. Chapter 62 at and-039s Just a Mouse. I and-039 LL beat him back into the sewer later, please order first. Chapter 62 It's just a mouse. I'll beat him back into the sewer later. As soon as the words came out, the gods were in an uproar. After the uproar, the 12th universe Gods of Destruction Gold sneered at this and said, "Hey, a mere Gods of Destruction candidate dares to be so arrogant. He really does not know his life or death. Human beings are not like this. They think they have a little power, but they are defiant." The 8th universe Gods of Destruction Liquor carried his hands on his back and said disapprovingly, "People who live in their own world are like this. I can forgive your ignorance, but I don't know if other Gods of Destruction can forgive you," Vermut said in a superior tone. Quitela, who was watching Kahn, suddenly grinned. There are candidates for any Gods of Destruction. The Gods of Destruction of the 7th universe has no quality, and the candidates certainly have no quality. Immediately, Quitela issued a letter of challenge to Kahn. Your name is Kahn? When the Gods of Destruction summit officially begins, I will send you a challenge. I hope your strength can be directly proportional to your tone. I've accepted your challenge. I hope you won't make me feel too boring later. Kahn accepted Quitela's challenge on the spot. Quitela's strength, even in Gods of Destruction, is second to none. But Kahn didn't show any fear or retreat. Instead, he felt his blood boil. What a big tone. Even Beerus dare not talk to me like that. Who are you, kid? Quitela said disdainfully. He thought that Beerus was already arrogant enough, but he didn't expect that Beerus's candidate was even more arrogant than him. I'm your father. Kahn spit out a few words lightly, but Quitela almost broke his defense. You boy, wait for me. When I trample you on the ground, I hope your mouth can still be as hard as it is now. Quitela growled angrily. He was really pissed off by Kahn. Not since he was in the 4th universe Gods of Destruction has anyone dared to talk to him like that, including Beerus. Whoa, let's see how you end up, Kahn. Seeing that Kahn became the target of public criticism, Champa, who had been silently watching from the sidelines, was delighted. He didn't dare to provoke Kahn anymore, but that didn't mean the other Gods of Destruction didn't dare to provoke Kahn. Not to mention that this is the Gods of Destruction Summit. Once in the ring at the Gods of Destruction Summit, even if Kahn was trampled underfoot, it would be reasonable. Even the Grand Priest can't say anything. The thought of Kahn being trampled underfoot by Quitela later made Champa feel extremely relieved. Make you crazy. Do you really think the Gods of Destruction Summit is just playing tricks with you? There is no Grand Priest to protect you here. Kahn just shrugged casually and didn't respond to Datra's words. It's useless to say more now, and the real chapter will be over later. Seeing that the match between Kahn and Quitela was over, Wise said, "Now that everyone is here, let's start." The other 11 angels nodded in unison. Immediately afterwards, the 12 angels raised their angel staffs in unison, pointing to the endless void in front of them. Go. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 12 colorful energy beams are refracted from the angel staffs in the hands of angels, and meet in the endless void in front of them to form a dazzling colorful energy beam. In the end, it directly hit the endless void. Setsuna room. In the endless void directly in front, there are waves of fluctuations like ripples, rippling layer by layer. Under the continuous injection of colorful energy beams, a colorful passage leading to the big Gods of Destruction world appeared. Everyone, let me go first. After opening up a passage leading to the great Gods of Destruction realm, the first universe Gods of Destruction took the lead and rushed out, followed by Angel Abamo. Quitela stared at Kahn unkindly, and then also swept into the colorful passage. Mr. Kahn, let's go too. Kahn didn't ink anymore, so he deployed the flying technique and followed the large army along the colorful path into the big Gods of Destruction world. As it continued to deepen, June had to close his eyes because of the extremely dazzling colorful light. After continuing to fly like this for a few minutes, the colorful light disappeared. Kahn opened his eyes again, and a whole new world appeared in Kahn's sight. Is this the big Gods of Destruction world? Looking at the scene in front of him, Kahn was deeply shocked. Directly in front of the line of sight, a purple palace in the shape of a big directly penetrates into the sky, exuding a magnificent and majestic aura. Momo shocked Kahn's visual nerves and wrote to his heart. In front of this palace, Kahn only felt that he was as small as an ant. He even felt a breath of ancient times. If you can practice here, you will get twice the result with half the effort. This palace is the famous Great Gods of Destruction Palace, which was built by the legendary dragon god Salama himself, but it is currently in a state of no owner. Wise on the side introduced Kahn. Kahn nodded slightly. In Wise words, Kahn also got a message. Dragon god Salama. Could it be said that the legendary dragon god Salama who created the Super Dragon Ball is still alive? But apparently, Kahn doesn't have time to think about that right now. He shifted his eyes and continued to look at this big world. At the foot of the Great Gods of Destruction Palace, there is a piece of greenery, among which there are several long buildings with the same style as the Great Gods of Destruction Palace. Like a crawling dragon, it surrounds the Palace of Gods of Destruction, like 563 stars holding the moon. After taking a rough look around, Kahn said in shock, "It's a beautiful, imposing place. Want to be the master here?" Wise asked suddenly. Kahn raised his mouth and said ambitiously, "Of course." Shout, a mere candidate for Gods of Destruction also wants to become the owner of this place. At this time, Quitela's disdainful voice full of sarcasm came again. "Arrogant boy, instead of thinking about whether you can become the master of this place, it is better to think about whether you can leave here standing up today. My Quitela method is not for nothing." Yes. Kahn did not contradict Quitela's words. It made Quitela feel like a punch in the sponge that didn't achieve anything. It made him feel uneasy for a while. Shout, "Wait for me, you won't be arrogant for long." Putting down a harsh word, Quitela took the fourth universe Angel Conic to the big Gods of Destruction Palace. Looking at Quitela's back, Wise reminded, "Mr. Kahn, this Quitela's strength is not weaker than that of Master Beerus. Even if you look at the 12 universe Gods of Destruction, his strength can still be among the best. So you have to be careful." Kahn shrugged and said disapprovingly, "It's just a mouse. I'll beat him back into the sewer later." Chapter 63 Dragon God Salama. Is he a woman? Ask for the first order. Chapter 63 Dragon God Salama. Is he a woman? The entire Palace of Gods of Destruction is divided into 10 floors, and each floor has many functions. These are not listed for now. The venue for the Gods of Destruction Summit is located on the side of the big Gods of Destruction Palace. It has its own floor and is also the venue for the Gods of Destruction Summit. Kahn and Wise followed the large group into the venue slowly. From the outside, the space on this floor is not very big, but after actually entering the inside, Kahn discovered that there is something strange inside. A super large arena with a length and width of no less than 10,000 meters is impressively located in the center of this floor. Around the arena, there are 3 stone platforms suspended respectively, a total of 12. The 12 stone platforms are marked with Arabic numerals from 1 to 12, representing the contestants' platforms of the 12 universes, and they are also the audience's platforms. And in the midair directly behind the arena, there is a triangular altar floating. The top of the altar is a pure gold stone platform, which emits dazzling golden light as if it is sacred and inviolable. A purple gold staff with a black crystal floating on the top was inserted into the pure gold stone platform at a 45-degree angle. Kahn stared fierily at the purple gold staff and excitedly said, "Wise, is that the big Gods of Destruction staff you mentioned?" Even though they are far apart, Kahn can still feel a sea-like divine power from above. Good. Looking at the great Gods of Destruction staff, Wise also had a look of awe on his face. That is the great Gods of Destruction staff that all Gods of Destruction dream of. Whoever can get it will be the first great Gods of Destruction really. Kahn noticed too. Not only him, every Gods of Destruction is watching the big Gods of Destruction staff with fiery eyes, wishing to take it as their own. Who has ever tried to make the great Gods of Destruction staff lord? Kahn asked curiously. The one with the most number of times is of course Master Beerus. Master Beerus has tried a total of 357,048 times and did not end in failure. The second is Lord Gods of Destruction Quitela of the 4th universe. He tried a total of 330,681 times, but all of them failed. Other Gods of Destruction have also been tried more or less, and the results speak for themselves. Wise said, "So, people have a love-hate relationship with the big Gods of Destruction staff." "My grass," Kahn gasped. Beerus tried 350,000 times without success. Is it so difficult? Since Beerus has tried 350,000 times, it means that he has won the championship 350,000 times at the Gods of Destruction Summit. Beerus is still fierce. It seems that compared with Beerus, Quitela is still slightly inferior. After a short tour, all the universe Gods of Destruction and Angel landed their seats. Wise also brought Kahn down to the stone platform marked with the number 7 thump. With the 12 universe Gods of Destruction and Angels in place, the surrounding walls suddenly burst into purple light, and even the floor below was covered by purple light. Looking down from the stone platform, it seems to be the light emanating from the floor itself. Extraordinarily dreamy and gorgeous immediately. Kahn noticed that the expressions of the gods and the angels suddenly became awe-inspiring. Immediately afterwards, an ethereal Yuji's voice filled with sacred aura resounded from this space. Gods descend, the 1,999,999th Gods of Destruction Summit officially begins. Because there are newcomers in this Gods of Destruction Summit, I will briefly describe the rules of the Gods of Destruction Summit. To put it simply, the rule of the first round of the Gods of Destruction Summit is elimination. The first round draws lots to determine the opponent. The loser is eliminated and the winner advances to the second round, which is also the final round. The final round is a points system. A total of 6 games were played. The 6 people who advanced in the first round have a chance to challenge the other 5 people who advanced. You can challenge 1 person or 5 people. It all depends on your personal strength and courage. 1 point will be awarded for each winner, and 1 point will be subtracted for the loser, and the points can be negative. After the final round of 6 games, the player with the most points will be the champion. You can get a chance to recognize the Lord of Gods of Destruction once. There are several ways to tell if a person is a loser. If you fall into the ring, you will be judged as a loser. If you admit defeat automatically, you will be judged as a loser. Or if one of the parties falls down and has no strength to fight again, you will be judged as a loser. After listening to the rules, Kahn frowned and questioned, "Isn't this a chance to cheat? What if the 6 people who have advanced cooperate with each other to score points?" "Mr. Kahn, you don't have to worry about this," Wise vowed. Gods of Destruction Summit champions are those who can. If Gods of Destruction deliberately concedes defeat to other Gods of Destruction in the game, then he will be punished extremely severe punishment. By the way, let me tell you a secret. The one who presides over the Gods of Destruction Summit is Lord Salama, the dragon god. Lord Salama has always been fair and just. If Gods of Destruction deliberately concedes defeat and is suspected of giving points to other Gods of Destruction, then these 2 Gods of Destruction will be disqualified immediately, and may even lose the position of Gods of Destruction. Therefore, in so many Gods of Destruction summits hosted by Lord Salama, no Gods of Destruction has ever dared to touch Lord Salama's reverse scale. I see. According to what Wise said, then he can rest assured. Kahn was worried that the other Gods of Destruction would not like him, so he joined forces to cheat him, so it seemed that he was worried too much. Immediately afterwards, Kahn asked again in a low voice, "Wise, you said that the person hosting the Gods of Destruction Summit is Lord Salama, the dragon god. Is he a woman?" "As you have heard, Lord Salama's voice is what gender he is. However, Lord Salama is hosting the Gods of Destruction Summit in Dragon God Realm, and even I have never seen his real face." Kahn nodded thoughtfully, understood. From the analysis of the name Salama, Kahn always thought that Salama was a man, but Wise told him that Salama was a woman, which was beyond Kahn's expectations. At this time, 12 purple light clusters appeared above the ring. Wise reminded, "Mr. Kahn, the lottery has begun." Kahn came back to his senses. Good Lai Zhao stretched out his big hand, and one of the purple light clusters swept towards Kahn's palm. The other Gods of Destruction also received one of the purple light clusters, one after another. Kahn opened the purple light group in his palm, and a number 1 appeared in it. It means that he is the first player in the first round. Gods of Destruction, who also drew the number 1 with him, is his opponent. Looking at the number 4 in his hand, and then at the number 1 in Kahn's hand, Quitela glanced at Kahn, and said with a sinister smile, shouting, "That kid named Kahn, I hope you can make it to the second round, but don't get eliminated in the first round, otherwise it will be boring." "It's the same for you, Stinky Mouse. You must last until the second round. Then I will beat you back to the sewer with my own hands." Kahn responded emphatically. Just when Kahn and Quitela were fighting each other in the air, En's opponent also came out. The one who got the number 1 like Kahn was the 11th Universe Gods of Destruction, Vermut. Chapter 64 Dacheng and -039's self-consciousness shocked the gods. Ask for the First Order. Chapter 64 Dacheng's self-consciousness shocked the gods. Quitela, I'm really sorry, it seems that it's not your turn to deal with this arrogant kid. Seeing that his opponent was Kahn, the corners of Vermut's mouth rose wildly. He had long since disliked Kahn. You said that you are a mere candidate for Gods of Destruction, but you are even crazier than Beerus. Isn't this a draw? Among the Gods of Destruction, only the powerful are worthy of arrogance. If the strength is not enough, and dare to be arrogant in front of Gods of Destruction, it is undoubtedly a dung beetle who went to the toilet in the middle of the night, looking for death. Will the Gods of Destruction candidate from the 7th universe be the first to play? We can first see how strong he is. I hope his strength can be directly proportional to his tone, otherwise he is just a fool. Hey, his opponent is that Vermut guy, and I think he's going to be deflated. It's just a candidate for Gods of Destruction. There is still a huge gap between him and the real Gods of Destruction. If he loses to Vermut in the first round later, even Beerus will lose face. the rest of Gods of Destruction are all talking about. But almost everyone is not optimistic about Kahn. After all, Gods of Destruction is just a candidate, not the real Gods of Destruction. To dare to be so arrogant at the Gods of Destruction summit, it seems that he is an egomaniac who has never been beaten by society. Although Beerus is also crazy, but he has the capital of arrogance. After all, Beerus has won the title of Gods of Destruction Summit Champion 350,000 times. And why are you a mere candidate for Gods of Destruction so crazy? 657 What a stupid guy. The first time you came to the Gods of Destruction Summit and let you stand on the opposite side of all Gods of Destruction, I want to see how you end up. Gods of Destruction Champa gloated. He failed to teach Kahn that day because of the Grand Priest. Now Kahn can be seen being lectured by others and Mumpaba is relieved. When you hate or even hate a person, no matter what he does, you don't like it. That's what Champa is to Kahn. Although because of the Grand Priest, he did not dare to take the initiative to trouble Kahn, but this did not prevent him from hating Kahn. In fact, for Kahn, the reason why he chose to stand on the opposite side of all Gods of Destruction is also a last resort. If he doesn't prove himself at the Gods of Destruction Summit, everyone will look down on him, and even think that he is just cannon fodder sent by Beerus. So what he has to do is stand up. Let this group of arrogant Gods of Destruction know that they are not easy to mess with. In the first match, Kahn, the candidate for the 7th Universe Gods of Destruction, played against the 11th Universe Gods of Destruction Vermut, and both contestants took the stage at the same time. The sacred and ethereal royal sister's voice of the dragon god Salama sounded again. It means the official start of the first round of the Gods of Destruction Summit tread. Vermut took the lead. Come on down, crazy CJFC guy. Before Kahn went on stage, Wise reminded, Mr. Kahn, the Gods of Destruction Vermut of the 11th Universe is a little scheming, please pay more attention. After all, Kahn is also his student and his brother-in-law. So Wise doesn't want Kahn to lose game one last time either. Not to mention winning the championship of this Gods of Destruction Summit. At least not stopping at the first round. I know. Kahn nodded slightly, then leaped forward and landed gracefully directly opposite Vermut. It's my first time to participate in the Gods of Destruction Summit, but I can be so calm. It's admirable for her courage. It's a pity that he faced Lord Vermut. I don't think the suspense of this victory should be too big, my minister. On the stone platform of the 11th Universe, Makarita looked down at Kahn and Vermut below, and analyzed herself. Who can say for sure? Wise retorted, Mr. Kahn, after all, he is a student I personally taught. Although he is not an official Gods of Destruction, if you underestimate his strength, it will capsize the ship. Really? Let's wait and see, dear. Makarita raised her red lips, revealing a meaningful smile. You really have to be careful. For this, Champa has to admit, if you don't use Destruction, Gods of Destruction's exclusive clearing skill, and just compete with martial arts and strength, judging from his last fight with Kahn. Kahn's strength is indeed remarkable. So against Kahn, you still can't take it lightly. All eyes were on Kahn and Vermut as they took to the ring. If it is another Gods of Destruction duel, maybe everyone will be more or less interested. Because they have long been tired of watching, and they can even guess the general outcome. But this is the first game of Kahn's first visit to the Gods of Destruction Summit, coupled with Kahn's rhetoric before the game, so the gods and angels have a strong interest in Kahn's strength. They also wanted to see if Kahn really had the strength to match his swaggering tone. In the arena, Vermut stared at Kahn with a sneer on his face. If I remember correctly, you said just now that you would step on our bones and climb to the top of the great Gods of Destruction altar, right? Before Kahn could answer, Vermut sneered again. It's really arrogant. Even Beerus dare not speak such nonsense. I really don't know where your self-confidence comes from. Kahn said domineeringly, confidence comes from strength. If I didn't even have this confidence, I wouldn't be standing here today. Also, I'm not Beerus, don't compare me to him, it is good. Vermut said confidently, then let me completely destroy your self-confidence. This is the place where the most powerful gods of destruction of the universe will compete, not the place for a yellow-haired boy like you crush my self-confidence. Do you have the ability? The moment the words fell raging, billowing purple energy flames erupted from Kahn's body like a volcanic eruption. In the jet-like purple energy gas flame, there are continuous lightning arcs flickering, exuding destructive waves. Kahn, who had a benevolent look just now, suddenly turned into a fierce look. Selfishness. Kahn, under his self-importance, has an extra violent temperament of gods of destruction. Extreme ego. It turned out to be Dacheng's self-importance. This kid has some skills. No wonder he dared to speak wildly. It turned out to be Dacheng's self-will. It's really not easy to cultivate one's ultimate will to great success at a young age. 11. Self-consciousness. Everyone present at Gods of Destruction will know. And it's all Dacheng's self-consciousness. But it took them a long time to learn self-intention back then, and Kahn looked like he was only in his early 20s and 30s. But he was able to cultivate self-intention to great success. This talent alone is enough to instantly kill all gods of destruction present. This is the main reason for your surprise. It is not easy to practice self-intention and self-intention, even if you know its principle, but if you have distracting thoughts or low talent, even if you clearly tell you the combat concept and principle of self-intention, I'm afraid it will be difficult for you to learn self-consciousness too. Just like Gods of Destruction Topo, the candidate for the 11th universe, it is precisely because he cannot let go of justice that he cannot grasp the true self-will obviously. Kahn's ability to exert his ultimate will so easily means that he has cast aside all distracting thoughts in his mind and focused on destruction. This guy, Beerus, has found a good successor. Looking at the self-absorbed Kahn, Vermut hated iron for steel. If Topo had half the savvy and determination of Kahn, he wouldn't have to worry so much. Although Kahn is indeed crazy, Vermut also has to admit that Kahn is indeed a good seed suitable for Gods of Destruction. Chapter 65. The stronger the enemy is, the more the Saiyan blood in my body boils. Ask for the first. Chapter 65. The stronger the enemy is, the more the Saiyan blood in my body boils. Gods of Destruction of the 11th universe, you are wrong, Mr. Kahn is the student I am looking for, and has nothing to do with Lord Beerus. Wise narrowed his eyes slightly and proudly said, in addition, it is worth mentioning that Mr. Kahn's self-intention is self-taught, and I have not even taught him the concept and skills of self-intention. Nanny. As soon as Wise said this, all the gods in the audience were shocked again. Is it possible to learn self-cultivation without a teacher, and even reach Dacheng? How is this possible? Are you kidding? This arrogant kid has such a talent? No wonder this man dares to be so arrogant. It turns out he is proud of himself. It's unbelievable that there are human beings who can learn their own mind without a teacher. If it's true, it's kind of scary. This news, like a blockbuster, exploded among the gods in an instant. If Kahn really learned his own mind without a teacher, then they are really ashamed to find a hole in the ground, because none of them learn self-consciousness by themselves. Compared with Kahn, they really feel ashamed. If, in their eyes just now, Kahn was a self-righteous arrogant guy, then now they have to admit that Kahn does have the capital of arrogance. In terms of overall strength, Kahn may not be as good as most of them in Gods of Destruction, but just relying on the fact that they can learn their own mind without a teacher is enough to blow them up. Liar? Is his self-consciousness self-taught? Champa's pupils widened in surprise and he blinked in disbelief. Alice pushed her glasses and analyzed objectively. Master Champa, I'm afraid it's hard to say. If it's fake, then Wise doesn't need to kill Kahn here to win first. Philo. Champa swallowed hard, with cold sweat on his forehead. Although he was very reluctant to admit it, what Alice said did make sense. Wise doesn't need to praise Kahn here at all, because in this way, If Kahn is eliminated by Vermut in the first round later, Kahn's defeat will be even more ugly. Obviously, since Wise dares to say this, it means that Kahn's self-consciousness is really self-taught. Cut, it's just so-so. Quitela still felt disdainful. Even if Kahn's self-consciousness is really self-taught, so what? Just relying on Dacheng's self-importance, he couldn't let him dominate the audience and win the crown at the Gods of Destruction Summit. No matter how high Kahn is praised now, how much he will fall later. Is it self-taught without a teacher? It's interesting, dear. Margarita squinted her eyes slightly, raised her red lips slightly, and looked at Kahn on the ring with interest. For some reason, she is now looking forward to Kahn's performance. In the arena, the clown Gods of Destruction Vermut also re-examined Kahn from the contempt just now. It is really terrible to learn the ultimate intention of oneself without a teacher. Instead of underestimating the enemy, it is better to pay attention now. Otherwise, if he loses later, where will his face as Gods of Destruction go? It is not that no Gods of Destruction candidate has come to the Gods of Destruction Summit before, but there has never been a Gods of Destruction who has lost to a Gods of Destruction candidate at the Gods of Destruction Summit. Vermut doesn't want to be the first. If he loses to Kahn today, then he will be stared at the pillar of shame in the history of Gods of Destruction, and will be ridiculed by other Gods of Destruction for thousands of years immediately raging. Purple-black destructive energy gushes out, covering Vermut's whole body. He also opened up his own ultimate will, and also has the exclusive energy of Gods of Destruction, which is stronger than Kahn's self-intention in terms of power and strength. The smell of gunpowder in the air intensified as Vermut also turned on his ego and destructive energy some moment. Kahn and Vermut seemed to have a heart-to-heart connection, and the two moved almost at the same time. Call out. Call out. The two rushed in both directions, and met in the blink of an eye under the watchful eyes of the gods and angels. Boom! When the two met Setsuna, terrifying energy fluctuations swept out instantly. The entire arena vibrated violently at this moment. Immediately, the two touched each other. After stepping back a little, Kahn blinked his purple pupils, and the flaming fighting spirit surged out. The last battle with Champa was really boring. I hope you can let me see how strong the upper limit of self-intention is. Tread. Kahn stomped his feet and charged forward again. It will satisfy you. Undaunted, Vermut confronted Kahn head-on. Ask for flowers. Bang bang bang. Both Kahn and Vermut are extremely fast. They hit from the ring to midair, and then from the air to the ring. The aftermath of the terrifying battle continued to blast out, and the incomparably strong arena was already covered with cracks. Kahn and Vermut's fighting style is almost the same, without any energy bombardment, and some are just extreme boxing in close combat. Under Vermut's destructive energy, Kahn fell into a disadvantage for a while. Although it is also self-intentional, but Vermut has the blessing of destructive energy, so Kahn suffered a little disadvantage in the confrontation. However, as the battle progressed, Kahn's already raging fighting spirit grew even higher. As the fighting spirit rose, Kahn's strength naturally continued to rise. Destroy. Vermut seized a flaw exposed by Kahn's attack, raised his hand to Kahn's chest, and it was a destructive attack dressed in a destructive force coat. Zero. Boom! The explosion resounded and smoke and dust rose. Kahn was knocked out of the air by Vermut's sabotage on the spot tread. After landing, Kahn finally stabilized his body after plowing a scratch tens of meters long on the ring. Because of the damage Vermut had just rubbed, Kahn's chest clothes were torn with a hole, exposing Kahn's strong pectoral muscles. It seems that there is still a certain gap between the real Gods of Destruction. Looking at Kahn, who was at a disadvantage, Alice couldn't help shaking her head. If Kahn is given another 10 years to practice, she can basically conclude that there will be no Gods of Destruction opponents for Kahn just now. In front of those old Gods of Destruction, Kahn still looks a little immature. However, just when the gods thought that Kahn was gradually getting weak, they saw Kahn wipe off the dust on his face. Then he grinned, showing a chilling and crazy smile. Yes, that's the feeling. The stronger the enemy is, the more the Saiyan blood in my body will boil, so my fighting spirit will be infinitely high. Drink. Immediately afterwards, Kahn exploded, and his aura surged again. A steady stream of energy pours into the Kahn body. All the gods can clearly perceive Kahn's almost linear skyrocketing power. Crazy. This guy is absolutely crazy. P.S. The 11th update today. It's not too much to ask for flowers. 4. Chapter 66 Beat Vermut. You, the clown, said you wanted to destroy my self-confidence. Please Subsc. Chapter 66 Beat Vermut violently. Are you the clown who wants to destroy my self-confidence? Call out. Under the watchful eyes of the gods, Kahn turned into a black afterimage and took the initiative to attack again. A candidate is just a candidate after all. No matter how powerful they are, they will definitely not be able to defeat the real gods of destruction. When Kahn rushed within 100 meters, Vermut's eyes suddenly widened grip. The next moment, Vermut clenched his fists tightly, and Kahn, who was rushing towards Vermut at high speed, was suddenly imprisoned in midair by an energy sphere, which exerted terrifying gravity, seriously affecting Kahn's actions. He couldn't even break through the energy sphere that imprisoned him for a while. After restricting Kahn's movement, Vermut kept moving, and then bent his fist into a claw and swung suddenly. Whoosh! The dense energy flying cards formed by condensing destructive energy, like a bullet screen, instantly enveloped Kahn, who was imprisoned in the energy sphere. Vermut, this guy has grown 667 again. Quitela folded his hands on his chest. Shout and shout. Vermut's trick is not so good. Next. The other gods also watched this scene closely without speaking. How much difference there is between Kahn and the real gods of destruction can basically be seen from this battle with Vermut. After a few seconds, Kahn reappeared in the sight of the gods. I saw that Kahn was still volleying in the air. His arms were crossed in front of his chest, and the clothes on his body were cut into holes, but there was no trace of blood. Nanny? Seeing this, Vermut's eyes suddenly narrowed, and he secretly said in shock, "This kid's aura has actually increased again." His series of attacks just now failed to cause any considerable damage to Kahn, but instead made Kahn even stronger. Only this level of attack. Kahn grinned and said excitedly, "It won't defeat me, it will only make me stronger." Boom! Kahn once again exploded, and while his strength continued to increase, the purple energy flames had evolved into energy flames raging. The purple energy flames blazed and rushed towards Vermut. Vermut swept away the oncoming energy flames. "Then let me defeat you." Before he finished speaking, Vermut's voice stopped abruptly. At the same time as he swept away the energy flame, Kahn's fist wrapped in the purple energy flame had already smashed towards his face puff. A punch from Kahn in the front caused Vermut to tilt his head slightly back. While Vermut was stiff, Kahn kept moving and kicked Vermut in the abdomen again. "Who are you going to beat? As I said just now, I will step on your bones and climb to the top of the altar of the great gods of destruction." As Vermut fell from the sky, Kahn chased after him at an even faster speed, landing hard with his knee on Vermut's throat. Suffering fierce attacks from Kahn one after another caused Vermut to suffer certain injuries. As the gods of destruction, Vermut's power is undoubtedly very strong, but his defense is vulnerable. With Kahn's knee pressed against his throat, Vermut's face instantly turned ferocious. "Smug kid, don't really think I'm made of mud." Boom! A muffled sound came out almost simultaneously with Vermut's voice. I saw Vermut's right foot kicked heavily on Kahn's back. However, to Vermut's desperation, his kick didn't even move Kahn an inch. Immediately, Kahn grabbed Vermut's heel with a backhand grab. The heel was grabbed, and Vermut suddenly felt bad. Immediately afterwards, Kahn grabbed it directly. The dignified 11th universe gods of destruction at this moment was like rubbish. After Kahn held his heels and spun a few times in the air, he slammed heavily on the ground of the ring. Bang bang bang. Kahn held Vermut's heels and smashed it left and right for more than a dozen rounds, and Vermut was stunned by Kahn. Seeing this brutal scene, the gods were dumbfounded. Finally, Kahn slammed Vermut to the ground again, grabbing him by the collar as Vermut bounced off the ground immediately. Under Vermut's horrified gaze, Kahn's head banged hard clang. This iron-head skill directly gave Vermut a whirlwind, staring at him. "Do you think this is the end?" "No." After rewarding Vermut with an iron punch, Kahn's big hand directly grabbed Vermut's face and slammed it on the ground of the ring. After a second, boom! Violent energy explosions resounded, gravel splashed, and smoke and dust billowed silence. Deathly silence. The gods were dumbfounded. What is this riding on a horse? 1 second Vermut had an absolute advantage, but the next second Kahn beat him like a sandbag. "It's not beautiful. It's not beautiful." The second universe Gods of Destruction Beerus shivered all over his body and said in disgust, "Such a cruel man is so unbeautiful." Watching this scene, Champa's psychological shadow came up again. Having played against Kahn, he knew very clearly that Kahn hadn't shown his true strength yet. If Kahn under self-importance used the fighting method of constantly self-destructing, Vermut would have fallen down long ago. Vermut didn't even have the strength to fight back. It seems that the 7th universe, the candidate for Gods of Destruction, has some real skills. 12th universe Gods of Destruction Jin said. Shout Quitela curled his lips and said, "Vermut, you are too embarrassed. You can't even deal with a Gods of Destruction candidate. You are really a dog for Gods of Destruction, however, although." Still, Quitela was upset to see Kahn, a mere Gods of Destruction candidate, at the Gods of Destruction summit. But it was in Quitela's favor. If Kahn loses in the first round, then he has no chance to clean up Kahn himself. If you want to promote, suppress first. It belongs to Yes. Makarita-san, it seems that there is really no suspense about the outcome. Wise couldn't help but returned exactly what Makarita had said just now. He has seen it. Under Kahn's fierce attack just now, Vermut almost lost his fighting ability. Makarita smiled awkwardly but politely and said, "I miscalculated the strength of this Mr. Kahn is really impressive, dear woo-woo-woo." At the same time, the smoke and dust on the ring gradually dissipated. A bowl-shaped stone pit appeared in the sight of the gods and angels. Vermut was lying in the stone pit of the ring in a state of embarrassment. His face turned grim because of the pain, his clothes were torn, and there were still many gravels on his body. It has long since lost its prestige as Gods of Destruction. Tread, tread. Kahn stepped forward and lifted Vermut up 1.6. In front of Kahn's strong physique, Vermut is as weak as a weak chicken with no strength to restrain it. "You, the clown, said you wanted to destroy my self-confidence." Vermut gritted his teeth, eyes full of unwillingness, and said, "Damn bastard." "How?" Sensing the unwillingness in Vermut's eyes, Kahn couldn't help jokingly said, "Dignified Gods of Destruction, losing to me a Gods of Destruction candidate. Does it make you feel ashamed?" "It's okay to feel ashamed." Vermut spoke boldly before the match, remained silent during the match, and babbled nonsense after the match. Whether Vermut's strength can pass Zhu Lion is a big question mark. Looking at the 12th universe Gods of Destruction, Vermut's strength is not much stronger, probably on the same level as Champa. In the beginning, Kahn just put water on him and used him to improve his strength. He didn't really think he was strong, did he? No way, no way. Chapter 67 Sign into the Big Gods of Destruction World. What is the reward? Exclamation, please subscribe. Chapter 67 Sign into the Big Gods of Destruction World. What is the reward? Vermut, the clown Gods of Destruction, took the position of Gods of Destruction for only about 2.4 million years. Compared with the old Gods of Destruction such as Beerus, it is not a star and a half. If Champa hadn't been laziness and not paying attention to his diet, he would have put on a lot of weight. His strength could actually be ranked in the first echelon of the 12th universe Gods of Destruction. The reason why Champa's strength is also ranked at the end of the gods is mainly because of his physical strength. In terms of strength alone, Champa is definitely second to none. No matter how unwilling Vermut was in his heart, he wanted to fight back against Kahn, but he still had more than enough energy. His strength is already the bottom among all gods of destruction, and his defense is not in a mess. This is why Jiren dares to be called the strongest human being in the 11th universe, even surpassing gods of destruction. Jiren's strength may have surpassed Vermut, but in front of Beerus he is just a brave man. Little god of the 11th universe, you have tried your best. You are no longer qualified to fight against me. Talking. Kahn punched Vermut in the stomach again. The terrifying power instantly penetrated Vermut's body, forming a purple energy shock wave that pierced through Vermut's back. Puff! Vermut screamed again, and he flew upside down like a kite with a broken string. After drawing a perfect parabola in the air, Vermut fell straight out of the ring. The outcome is set. The gods were in an uproar. Originally, most of them wanted to see how Kahn made a fool of himself, but he pretended to be. Still, just one of Vermut. Not enough to make the gods fear Kahn. In the eyes of those old gods of destruction, Vermut is really the same as his image, a clown. So, in the eyes of the gods, winning Vermut is not much to brag about. It's really the same as your rhetoric before the game. Let's talk about being the champion of the Gods of Destruction Summit. Even Beerus, who is known as the strongest Gods of Destruction and has won the most Gods of Destruction Summit championships, dare not say that he can 100% win the Gods of Destruction Summit championship. As for Gods of Destruction candidate, forget it. It is already very good to be able to pass the first round of the elimination system and enter the final round. Even if Kahn loses in the final round and misses the championship, he has enough to prove himself. 7th Universe Gods of Destruction candidate Kahn wins. The ethereal and sacred voice of the dragon god Salama sounded again, and the first game representing the Summit of Gods of Destruction ended with Kahn's victory. Kahn stood on the spot, looked around the gods, and then he released his will to return to normal, and returned to the stone platform of the 7th universe. Well done, Mr. Kahn. Wise is not stingy with words of praise. As his student, Kahn was able to shine at the Gods of Destruction Summit for the first time, which undoubtedly gave him a great deal of face. Fortunately, life is not humiliated. Kahn said modestly, after all, you invited me here. If I am eliminated in the first round, I can't afford to lose this person. Wise smiled and said, Mr. Kahn is as humble as ever. There have been Gods of Destruction candidates who have participated in the Gods of Destruction Summit before, but they all fell in the first round of elimination without exception. So, Mr. Kahn, you are the first to reach the final round as a candidate for Gods of Destruction. Haha, I won the prize. With the end of the match between Kahn and Vermut, the second match is about to begin. With a flash of purple-gold light, the unrecognizable arena was restored to its original state due to the battle between Kahn and Vermut. The second session of the first round of the Gods of Destruction Summit. In the second match, the 5th Universe Gods of Destruction Eric battles the 1st Universe Gods of Destruction Eun. The second game begins. Wise reminded Kahn, Mr. Kahn, you can take advantage of this time to recover your strength. The final round will be held 5 hours after the end of the first round of elimination. Actually, I don't have much influence. With the existence of unlimited energy, Kahn doesn't have to worry about energy and stamina at all. If he hadn't been severely injured in an instant, he would be an unbeatable Xiaokang. Coupled with the Super Blood Metamorphosis defense power, if you want to cause serious damage to Kahn, you must at least completely crush Kahn in terms of strength. Just like the Super Blue Goja crushing Broly in the movie version of Dragon Ball Super Broly Bang Bang Bang. Eric and Im fought fiercely. The strength of the two seems to be comparable, evenly matched. For a while, it was hard to give up and fly, and the battle was extremely stalemate. The aftermath of the terrifying battle keeps rippling out, feeling the impact. Watching the battle between the two gods of destruction up close will also be of some benefit to Kahn. While the others lack interest, Kahn is carefully observing the battle between Arak and Eun, not letting go of any detail of their battle boom. The two had a head-to-head fist fight in the air, and at the same time as the terrifying aftermath spread, the two of them were pushed back to the ground with the strength of their arms. Just at this time a thought flashed through his mind, and Kahn suddenly remembered it. It seems that I almost forgot about my system. Grass. I almost forgot about this. It's been an hour or two since I came to the big Gods of Destruction world, but I didn't sign in a daze. The special reward for signing in on Beerus is ego, so what about signing in the big Gods of Destruction world? With excitement and nervousness, Kahn couldn't wait to say in his heart, "System, sign in at the big Gods of Destruction world." After a few seconds, the system finally responded. Ding 313. The host signs in the big Gods of Destruction world and gets special rewards, immortality, advanced self-intention power. Immortal body. Finally here. Kahn's eyes lit up when he heard about the body of immortality. All these years, what he has been waiting for is immortality. With an immortal body, Kahn can basically be regarded as a complete body now. Immortal body, self-will, super bloodline, plus an infinite energy. As long as the opponent is not Angel, how can you lose? With this immortal body, even if he can't pull out the big Gods of Destruction staff after winning the Gods of Destruction Summit Championship, then this trip to the Gods of Destruction Summit will be worthwhile. After the joy, Kahn came back to his senses. What is this advanced self-intentional skill? Back to host after a systematic explanation, Kahn finally figured it out. To put it simply, the self-consciousness and the free-mindedness are the same, and both have 3 stages. The first stage of the self-extreme intention corresponds to the sign of the self-extreme intention. That is getting started. Dacheng's self-consciousness corresponds to the form of the silver-haired self-consciousness Son Goku. And advanced self-extreme intention is the pinnacle of self-extreme intention. Compared with the Dacheng self-extreme will, the power of the advanced self-extreme will is stronger, and the more the fighting spirit is burned, the power obtained is stronger than the Dacheng self-extreme will. In a word, it is the perfect self-consciousness. Kettle, Chapter 68. The Bet with Quitela. Change your name to Mouse Tail Juice. Please subscribe. Chapter 68. The Bet with Quitela. Change your name to Rat Tail Juice. Bang bang bang. The battle between Arak and Eun continues. There are constant energy fluctuations enough to destroy the universe, but it is just a child's play for the big Gods of Destruction palace built by the dragon god Salama himself. That's why the big Gods of Destruction palace can still stand at the Gods of Destruction summit that has persisted for nearly 2 million worlds. Even intact finally. After several hours of fierce fighting, the 5th Universe Gods of Destruction Arak won the second match of the first round of the Gods of Destruction Summit. Kahn also digested his immortal body and advanced self-intention during this time. In the third game, Champa will fight against the 3rd Universe Gods of Destruction Moscow. If it is a protracted battle, Champa will definitely lose. After the last battle with Kahn, Champa clearly understood his shortcomings, so he chose a quick fight. In the end, Champa won by holding down Moscow. The winners of the remaining 3 games are the 4th Universe Gods of Destruction Quitela, the 2nd Universe Gods of Destruction Beerus, and the 9th Universe Gods of Destruction Sidra. The first round of competition lasted for 2 full days and 2 nights. The first round of the 1,999,999th World Gods of Destruction Summit has come to a successful conclusion, and the final round will be the 2nd Universe Gods of Destruction Beerus, the 4th Universe Gods of Destruction Quitela, 5th Universe Gods of Destruction Arak, 7th Universe Gods of Destruction Candidate Kahn. When the gods and angels followed the voice of the dragon god Salama and cast their eyes on the stone platform of the 7th universe, everyone was dumbfounded. I saw that Kahn had already fallen asleep sitting on the stone platform, and was still grunting continuously. In an instant, all the gods were covered with black lines. Sleeping at the summit of Gods of Destruction, you're the first. The Gods of Destruction candidate, 7th universe, is so defiant. No way. Gods of Destruction summit is where he sleeps. Such people who don't understand etiquette must be severely punished. The gods spoke out and condemned Kahn. Obviously, everyone can't understand the behavior of Kahn sleeping here. Mr. KHN letter 3005. Wise quickly woke up Kahn. What? Kahn, who was drowsy, was awakened instantly by Wise shout. Seeing the gods staring at him with anger in their eyes, Kahn seemed to realize something. He got up quickly and asked in a low voice, Wise, is this over? Yes, the first round of the Gods of Destruction Summit competition is all over. Wise nodded. That's it. Kahn scratched his head and smiled awkwardly but politely. The battle between Gods of Destruction was interesting at the beginning, but gradually lost interest later on. In addition, Kahn is still human after all, and not sleeping for a long time will seriously affect the mental state. I seem to have dreamed about that woman again just now in the previous dream. Kahn dreamed of the woman who had been appearing in his dreams before. In the dream, Kahn still couldn't see her face clearly. I'm really sorry, my wife. I clearly said not to dream of her again. As early as the second day after marrying Vados that year, Kahn vowed not to dream of that woman again, but the dream was beyond Kahn's control. Over the years, he still often dreamed of that woman, and every time he woke up from the dream, Bing En felt a deep sense of guilt. I said, Gods of Destruction candidate of the 7th universe, you are too ignorant of etiquette. Is the Gods of Destruction summit a place for you to sleep? At this time, Quitela's condemning voice came, which pulled Kahn's thoughts back. He even dared to insult Beerus, let alone a candidate for Gods of Destruction? Coupled with the fact that Quitela and Kahn have already formed a bridge just now, this will seize the opportunity, and naturally Quitela will not let Kahn go easily. Huh? Which dog is barking? Kahn glanced at Quitela and said angrily, so it's a mouse. It's none of your business if I sleep in my own home. Shouting, did I tell you that you haven't woken up yet? This is the palace of the great Gods of Destruction, not your home. Quitela sneered. Oh, that's it. Kahn said lightly, maybe not now, but soon. HMPH, what a breath. For this, Quitela sneered and dismissed it. Beerus is not as crazy as you. If you can win this Gods of Destruction Summit Championship and pull out the big Gods of Destruction staff, I, Quitela, will read my name upside down. What? You're changing your name to Lakui? Kahn said with a meaningful smile. However, the name Lakui sounds a little nicer. Why don't you change it to Mouse Tail Juice? What mouse? Tail Juice. Quitela didn't know much, but that didn't stop him from accepting Kahn's bet, because he knew all too well how difficult it would be to pull out the staff of Gods of Destruction. He tried more than 300,000 times without success. Even if Kahn was given a chance, would he be able to pull out the great staff of Gods of Destruction? Do not make jokes. Instead of pulling out the big Gods of Destruction staff at the first thought, it's better to go home and sleep and dream about everything. So, let alone a mere name, even if you bet your life with Kahn, he dares to bet. Quitela folded his hands on his waist and said, shouting, if you pull out the big Gods of Destruction staff, I can change my name to Rat Tail Juice, and if you lose, you have to change your name to Yellow-Haired Boy. How about it? Bet. No problem, Kahn said with an inexplicable confidence on his lips. Whoever loves the grandson. The name Huan Maozi fits well with his image of transforming into Chuanchao bloodline Koi. You are totally worth it. Just bet, whoever loves whose grandson. Seeing that Kahn was fooled, Quitela smiled sinisterly, and hurriedly said, the gods testify, whoever is willing to bet and refuses to admit defeat is a grandson. The other Gods of Destruction are willing to watch and eat melons, and even want to make fire. In their view, the probability that Kahn can win is infinitely close to zero. You might as well just change your name to Yellow Boy. Haha, Yellow-Haired Boy, he's kind of cute, dear. Makarita was actually amused. Cut. Vermut pouted. Why does his guide, Angel, seem to be interested in Kahn? When the gods and angels are not optimistic about Kahn, Wise has some confidence in Kahn. If it's Beerus, he can't guarantee it yet. But okay, if it's Kahn, maybe he can really pull out the big Gods of Destruction power. As long as Kahn can emerge from this Gods of Destruction summit. That's why he brought Kahn to this Gods of Destruction summit, isn't it? Okay, it's a deal. Quitela thought he was fooled. As everyone knows, in Kahn's view, Quitela was fooled. He wants to learn how difficult it is to issue this big Gods of Destruction method at the same time. The awe-inspiring voice of the dragon god Saruman once again resounded in the venue of the Gods of Destruction summit. The first round of the competition is over, everyone has a short rest, and after a while, the final round of this Gods of Destruction summit will start. A chance to recognize the Lord. As the voice of the dragon god Salama fell, the big Gods of Destruction staff inserted on the golden platform of the big Gods of Destruction altar became even more dazzling. Call out. Immediately, a wave of divine power descended, and everyone in the venue disappeared instantly. Chapter 69. The yellow-haired boy of the 7th universe, dare to come down and fight with Mr. Ben Q. Chapter 69. Chapter 7. The yellow-haired boy of the universe, dare to come down and fight Master Ben Quitela. After the first round of competition, it is free time. The gods can move freely in the great Gods of Destruction world, but they cannot destroy anything in the great Gods of Destruction world, including a flower, a grass, a tree or a tree. These are the rules of the Gods of Destruction summit. Therefore, even if there is a big personal grievance between the two Gods of Destruction during the break time of the Gods of Destruction summit, they dare not fight in the big Gods of Destruction world. Under a towering tree, Kahn and Wise took a break in a chair under a tree. Mr. Kahn, do you have any countermeasures for the second round of the points system? Wise asked. He doesn't know whether Kahn has the ability to make the great Gods of Destruction staff recognize the master, but he will do his best to send Kahn to the championship of this Gods of Destruction summit. In the second round of the point system, in addition to having strong personal strength, it also requires a certain amount of luck. Of course, personal strength still plays a big role. The countermeasure is to defeat the other 5 people at once. Kahn said simply and rudely. Since it is a point system and each person only has one chance to challenge, 5 people must be challenged. 267 Wise had black lines all over his head, and was taken aback when he heard it. Although it is good to have self-confidence, it should not be too inflated. Are you sure you can defeat 5 Gods of Destruction at once? Kahn shook his head with a smile and said, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but well, I like to challenge the limit. With his immortal body and unlimited energy, Kahn is confident that he will be undefeated against the 5 Gods of Destruction alone, but there is still one thing to worry about. That is, if he falls off the ring, he will be sentenced to lose. Kahn was worried that he would be attacked and knocked off the ring when he was under siege. Whispers, that's still too risky. Wise didn't quite approve of Kahn's strategy and challenged the other 5 Gods of Destruction in the second round. Beerus had never been so inflated back then, because usually when it comes to the second round, everyone is seeking stability. Unless they are 1 or 2 points away from the championship, the group will take the risk of challenging multiple Gods of Destruction at once. Otherwise, generally no one would dare to be so reckless. Unless the strength is crushed, it is very dangerous to fight 1 against 2 with little difference in strength. One mistake can cost you all. Then tell me what your countermeasure is. My idea is this according to Wise idea. Quitela will definitely be the first to challenge Kahn at the beginning of the second round. If Kahn wins, he will get 1 point. And in this way, there are opportunities to challenge other players. In the case of obtaining 1 point in advance, retaining the opportunity to challenge oneself can greatly increase the chance of becoming the champion. If you lose, then Kahn's points will be -1. It's not too late to venture out and challenge multiple Gods of Destruction. Generally speaking, Wise strategy is to play conservatively and play steadily, so that the chances of winning the crown will be greatly increased. According to what Kahn said, a slight mistake will lose everything. Okay, then follow what you said. It will depend on the situation. Seeing that Kahn agreed, Wise heaved a long sigh of relief. That's right. After all, gods of destruction who can advance to the second round are not vegetarians. It's better to be conservative. In a blink of an eye, a tick of time is fleeting. After being trimmed, the 6 players who advanced to the second round have all adjusted their state to their peak state. A more intense and brutal second round is about to kick off. Welcome back. The final round of the 1,599,999,000 Gods of Destruction Summit is about to begin. The final round of this year's Gods of Destruction Summit is Kahn, Champa, Quitela, Geras, Arak, and Sidra. The rules of the final round will not be repeated. Everyone has a chance to challenge. Start now. Silence. Deathly silence. Including Kahn, none of the 6 players who advanced to the final round took the initiative to come to the stage to judge. With the exception of Kahn, everyone is a veteran, and it is clear that the first person to challenge on stage will lose all advantages. Therefore, everyone is waiting for others to challenge themselves first. If you get 1 point in advance before you challenge yourself, then you have an absolute advantage. This is a psychological warfare. It depends on who can't hold back first. The other 6 gods of destruction didn't urge them either, because they also knew that the second round of points system was not only about strength, but also luck and psychology. In this way, 10 minutes passed cut. At this moment, Quitela couldn't hold back anymore. It seems that everyone is unwilling to challenge first, so let me throw breaks to attract Jade. While speaking, Quitela had already entered the ring. Is it finally coming? The corner of Kahn's mouth curled up in a subtle arc. If nothing else, Quitela's challenger must be himself. Seeing Quitela take the stage, the eyes of the gods turned to Kahn. Presumably everyone has guessed who Quitela is going to challenge as predicted. After stepping onto the ring, Quitela pointed directly at Kahn and said provocatively, "That yellow-haired kid from the 7th universe dare to come down and fight against Master Quitela?" Kahn smiled meaningfully. "As you wish, Dead." This is exactly what Kahn wanted. And Kahn also knows that there must be a battle between him and Quitela. Immediately, under the watchful eyes of the gods, Kahn jumped onto the ring again. Quitela is just over a meter tall, and Kahn is almost twice his height. In front of Kahn, Quitela is no different from a 3-year-old child. So much so that Kahn was looking down on him. Boom! Setsuna and Quitela, who were Kahn on the stage, moved their bodies, and an incomparable terrifying aura pressed on Kahn like Mount Tai. Still playing this little trick? Kahn snorted disdainfully, and with a movement of his shoulders, he easily dispelled the aura exerted by Tela. Before the battle officially started, the air was filled with a strong smell of gunpowder. Can smell gunpowder in the air. Quitela is not Vermut. This kid named Kahn, if he can beat Vermut, he may not necessarily win Quitela. Well, as a Gods of Destruction candidate, it's pretty cool to beat a Gods of Destruction to advance to the final round, and there's no shame in losing to Quitela. Compared with Kahn, the gods are more optimistic about Quitela. After all, Quitela's strength lies there. Both he and Beerus are frequent visitors of the Gods of Destruction Summit champions. This year, Beerus did not come to the Gods of Destruction Summit. If there is no accident, the championship should fall into the hands of Quitela. Just as other gods of destruction have their say on this battle between Kahn and Quitela. Vermut's face was extremely gloomy. Obviously. He was a disgrace to the Gods of Destruction community for losing to Kahn in the first round. Who lost the Gods of Destruction Summit to a candidate who has not yet officially become Gods of Destruction? It's him. Chapter 70. The name of the strongest Gods of Destruction. I'm afraid it will change hands, please. Thinking that he would be the laughingstock of the gods in the next 10,000 years, Vermut's psychology gradually distorted. He actually started to hope that Kahn had won. As long as he wasn't the only one who lost Gods of Destruction to Kahn, then he wasn't fighting alone. Everyone has lost, why only laugh at me? In the arena, Kahn and Quitela are over the pregame trash talk session. Immediately, Quitela's eyes gradually became fiercer, directly turning on the destructive energy and self-extreme mode. The burning destructive energy covering the surface of Quitela's body caused the surrounding space to gradually distort obviously. The energy intensity of Quitela is completely unmatched by Vermut. Quitela is not only strong in destructive energy, but his self-consciousness has also reached its peak, which is for advanced self-consciousness. Quitela transformed into a fighting form, and the expressions of all the gods present became serious. Quitela and Beerus can be called the twin stars of the 12 universe Gods of Destruction. In the previous Gods of Destruction summits, most of them were Quitela and Beerus who respectively won the championship of Gods of Destruction summits. Yellow-haired boy, my self-intention has reached its peak, and with your great self-intention, it is impossible to be my opponent for Quitela. He, whoever said it is not the same. Kahn chuckled, and the terrifying aura of Japanese stocks, which was even stronger than before, erupted from Kahn. Wisps of purple energy flames loomed. After 2 seconds, boom! A purple energy flame with a height of several tens of meters erupted, and Kahn instantly transformed into the ultimate self. Compared with when he was fighting Vermut just now, N's breath at this time has undoubtedly stepped up to a higher level. Kahn, who was under the extreme intention of the advanced self, had a fierce face, which was a little more violent. It makes Kahn look like the god of death from hell, which is chilling. How is this possible? Champa was stunned. Cold sweat continued to slide down his forehead, reflecting the shock in Champa's heart at the moment. Kahn was clearly just a Dacheng self-intention just now, and now he has broken through to an advanced self-intention in the blink of an eye. It's unbelievable. Now I believe what Wise said just now. His self-consciousness may really be self-taught. Even Alice, who is an angel, was deeply shocked. She has never seen anyone who can understand such a high level of self-consciousness. When fighting Vermut just now, Kahn's self-extreme intention was clearly still at the stage of great success. How long has it been since he reached the peak? Is this Kahn really a human being? How did his ego improve so quickly? The guy who can't see through. Monster-like guy. Give him a little more time. In time, his strength will definitely surpass Beerus. If he really becomes Gods of Destruction in the future, I'm afraid the name of the strongest Gods of Destruction will change hands. If it is said that Kahn's self-intention just now only slightly surprised the gods, so now they are shocked. Dacheng's ultimate self-intention wants to break through to the advanced self-intention. The difficulty is not ordinary high. It requires not only extremely high talent, but also unwavering belief and long-term accumulation of practice. Not to mention that in just 2 days, he broke through from Dacheng's self-extreme garden to advanced self-extreme intention. If it were them, it would be impossible to even think about it. But today they witnessed with their own eyes that a person's self-consciousness has been promoted from Dacheng to the peak of perfection in just 2 days. From this, we can get a glimpse of how shocked the hearts of the gods are. They stared at Kahn on the ring with the eyes of monsters, and their eyes were full of shock and disbelief. In terms of talent and understanding, Mr. N is definitely the most suitable person I have ever seen to be Gods of Destruction. The 10th universe angel said so. Rumschi frowned, completely unable to refute Kessie's words. Even if the person he hates the most is Beerus, he has to admit that Kahn is excellent. As his guide Angel says, Kahn is a better Gods of Destruction than any of them, but would Kahn really want to be Gods of Destruction? Or will he really be content with being a mere Gods of Destruction? As Kahn himself said, he came to participate in this Gods of Destruction summit because of the big Gods of Destruction staff. From the start, Kahn made it clear what he was here for. He never concealed his ambition and even threatened to be the master of this great palace of Gods of Destruction in front of the gods. equals N is very ambitious, and his talent and understanding are even more amazing to the gods. But no one thought that even if Kahn won the Gods of Destruction Summit Championship today, he would be able to pull out the great Gods of Destruction staff and let the great Gods of Destruction recognize the Lord. You yellow-haired boy, you are quite capable. Quitela was not afraid, but smiled excitedly. Things are getting more and more interesting. Ask for flowers, really. Kahn was also extremely excited. The Saiyan blood in my body is already boiling. Hey, let me see how much worse you are compared to Beerus. Call out. In the next moment, Gitra launched an attack without warning. He stepped into the void and appeared behind Kahn in an instant, attacking Kahn directly from behind. Call out. When Quitela's kick was about to hit Kahn, Kahn's figure disappeared instantly. Behind you. Kahn's voice came from behind with a burst of wind. Quitela turned around suddenly, tapped the void with her toes, and avoided Kahn's back blow at an extreme angle. Immediately afterwards, Quitela burst into anger, taking advantage of the gap between Kahn's moves, and directly bullied him. Zero. Hey, yellow-haired boy, you've shown your flaws. Boom. A muffled sound followed. The gods took a closer look and saw that Quitela's fist was still 20 centimeters away from Kahn's face, and Kahn's fist hit Quitela's face firmly. Kahn also grinned, and said sunnily, Hey, mousetail juice, your hands seem to be a little short. Thump. This punch directly sent the short Quitela flying. While Quitela was still flying upside down in the air, Kahn chased him with an instant transmission, and Chen Sheng pursued him. But Quitela is not a vegetarian either. He and Beerus can be called the twin stars of Gods of Destruction, not for nothing. When being repelled, Quitela exploded, hovered in the air, and then punched out suddenly. Call out. Kahn flew upside down, almost touching the ground. Yellow-haired boy, take my trick and try. Quitela raised one hand above his head, and a purple energy Qigong bomb containing destructive power quickly condensed. Immediately, Quitela threw out the Qigong bomb in his hand. Suddenly, the Qigong bomb hit the water at a super low altitude, and finally hit Kahn accurately. Boom! The violent energy explosion affected half of the sky. Gunpowder smoke mixed with flames rose into the sky, demonstrating the terrifying power of this Qigong bomb. How's it going? I don't know. The eyes of the gods focused on the place where the gunpowder smoke rose into the sky. They wanted to know what happened to Kahn. Moment. When the gunpowder smoke gradually dissipated, Kahn's figure gradually emerged in the smoke. Chapter 71 Shocking Gods. Complete victory over Quitela, the darkest dark horse. Chapter 71 Shocking Gods. Complete victory over Quitela, the darkest dark horse. Flutter. Kahn patted the dust off his body. Didn't you eat? It's not good. A cold sweat slid down Quitela's forehead. Even Beerus couldn't take that blow unscathed. Kahn did it. And looking at Kahn's aura, there is still a steady upward trend. According to this situation, it is only a matter of time before he loses. It's unscathed. This guy seems to be stronger than when he fought Vermut. No, even if his strength is strong, it is impossible for Fufa to receive Quitela's attack without injury. I thought Kahn was going to get a little bit of an injury, but after taking a Qigong bomb from Quitela, Kahn didn't show any signs of injury. On the contrary, because of the 520 of the self-extreme characteristic, Kahn absorbed part of the energy of Quitela's Qigong bomb and turned it into himself. That is, Quitela's blow just now not only failed to break through Kahn's defense, but even made his strength a bit stronger. In this way, Master Vermut, you are not wronged, my dear. Makarita said. Vermut shrugged, noncommittal. Really. According to Kahn's performance, it is indeed not wrong for him to lose to Kahn. If it were him who played Quitela's Qigong bomb just now, he would have been seriously injured, not to mention unscathed. But Vermut doesn't think about it anymore. He just wants Quitela to lose too. Even if he wants to become a laughing stock, he has to pull a backer. Hey, Alice, this isn't right. Champa was surprised. Kahn didn't seem to have such a strong defense when he fought with me last time. Alice pushed her glasses and said, Master Champa, you also said that was the last time. Mr. Kahn was only a great self-intention before, but now he is an advanced self-intention. You can't see Mr. Kahn the same way you used to. Champa, it seems that there is nothing wrong with it. Kahn, what kind of monster is he? At this time, Kahn and Quitela had once again engaged in a fierce battle. Boom. In the arena, energy explosions resounded continuously as well as battle clutter. The sturdy arena became devastated again because of the unbearable fierce battle between Kahn and Quitela at first. Whether in terms of strength or speed, Kahn is not as good as Quitela. However, with the blessing of immortality and infinite energy, Kahn took the initiative to block all kinds of attacks of Quitela, even those that could be easily avoided. Kahn took the initiative to block them. Kahn's seemingly desperate fighting style directly stunned Datra and the gods. Although it is true that self-extreme will can transform the attacks it endures into energy for itself, theoretically speaking, there is no upper limit to the power of self-extreme will. But everyone's physical fitness and endurance have limits, so if it is not necessary, Gods of Destruction will not deliberately take the opponent's attack. But Kahn is different. Kahn responded to Quitela's attacks in all kinds of fancy ways, and he didn't even show any fatigue or injury. The gods couldn't help but wonder if Kahn was really a monster. As the battle progressed, Kahn's fighting spirit rose wildly, and his strength also increased soon. Kahn gradually moved from the downwind to a tie with Quitela half an hour later. Kahn's power really surpassed Quitela's and began to counterattack. Boom. 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 After starting the counterattack, Kahn's offensive became more and more fierce, and Quitela could hardly parry it. In the battle just now, he had consumed a lot of energy. In addition, the strength was surpassed by Kahn, so in the face of Kahn's fierce attack, Quitela was gradually unable to do what he wanted. See here. Although the winner has not yet been officially determined, in the eyes of the gods, Quitela has actually lost. And how could Quitela, who is the person involved, be unaware of his own situation? It's just that he can't accept losing to Kahn. Puff. After a fierce attack on Quitela, as Kahn finally finished with a left jab, Quitela, who was almost smashed into a pig's head, flew backwards screaming. In the end, he fell heavily on the gravel-strewn arena. Destroy. Boom! As Kahn's understated words fell, the ground of the arena with Quitela as the center suddenly exploded. The terrifying power shook the entire arena. At the center of the explosion, a burst of smoke and dust 100 meters high was raised. It's hard to see where Quitela is today. At this moment, Wise on the 7th Universe stone platform showed a meaningful smile. This time, the winner should be decided. 11 woo woo woo. A long time. The smoke and dust gradually dissipated, and there was a big pit with a radius of 100 meters. Quitela, who was seriously injured, was lying in the deepest part of the pit. His face was covered with scars, and his breath was weak. It is impossible to get up again. Looking at the almost half-dead Quitela, the gods took a deep breath. Before this, no one thought that Quitela, who is also known as the twin star of Gods of Destruction with Beerus, would lose so ugly. Even against Beerus, Quitela has never lost so badly because not only was Kahn unhurt, but he was kicked up a notch. The 4th Universe Gods of Destruction Quitela is incapacitated, and the 7th Universe Gods of Destruction candidate Kahn wins. Kahn earns 1 point, Quitela deducts 1 point. Confirming that Quitela has no power to fight anymore, the dragon god Salama, who is far away in the dragon god realm, announced the defeat of Quitela. The gods fell silent as the dragon god Salama declared Quitela's defeat. Until this moment, they finally understood that Kahn is not a simple-minded idiot, but the darkest dark horse in this Gods of Destruction Summit. It was the first time I participated in the Gods of Destruction Summit, and I entered the final round with a sudden emergence, and defeated Vermut and Quitela one after another with an absolute advantage. According to this development, I am afraid that Kahn will realize what he said before the game. Tread on your bones, to the top of the altar of the great Gods of Destruction. When Kahn's infinitely arrogant and domineering words sounded again in the minds of the gods, the scalps of the gods all burst open. According to the current situation, not surprisingly, Kahn may really become the first person in history to participate in the 1.4 Gods of Destruction Summit as a Gods of Destruction candidate, win the crown, and climb to the top of the Gods of Destruction altar. This moment, the gods finally re-examined Kahn with equal eyes. It would be foolish for them to look at Kahn with superior eyes after Kahn defeated Kahn strongly. Obviously, even if a person who can become gods of destruction is not very smart, he will not be so stupid. Just when the gods were deeply shocked by Kahn, I saw Kahn suddenly turned his head, his sharp eyes swept across Champa, Geras, Arak, and Sidra. Now, it will be up to me to challenge. Champa, Geras, Arak, Sidra, dare to accept my challenge and fight with me. P.S. The first order of 600 means that there will be 7 updates today, and the 7th update will be after 12 o'clock. The author should also find a reason for himself to explode the update. The flowers will exceed 10,000 tonight, and the 10th update will be tomorrow. Chapter 72 Defeating the Teamwork of 4 Gods of Destruction in 5 minutes. Is your kid going to? Chapter 72 Defeat the Teamwork of 4 Gods of Destruction in 5 minutes. Are you going to heaven, kid? Earth, Magnum Capsules Inc. That night. Tonight, the night sky in Western Capital is shrouded in layers of dark clouds, just like Bulma's mood. On the second floor platform, Bulma propped her chin, feeling a little depressed. My husband has been away for 2 days. When will he come back? I think it should be soon. Vados was more optimistic and said with a smile, maybe, I'll be back tomorrow. Vados is not as depressed as Bulma is because she knows where Kahn has gone. Centennial Gods of Destruction Summit. At first, she was wondering why Wise was suddenly looking for Kahn, but after careful calculation, it was 100 years since the last Gods of Destruction Summit. Isn't it time for Gods of Destruction's 100-year Gods of Destruction Summit? If correct, Wise should have taken Kahn to the Gods of Destruction Summit. Kahn can be on such a big stage. Vados is naturally happy for Kahn. 29 Regardless of whether Kahn can stand out at the Gods of Destruction Summit, this trip to the Gods of Destruction Summit will greatly increase Kahn's experience. Immediately, Vados also raised his eyes to look at the night sky. A glamorous smile floated on his vermilion lips. Honey, I hope you can achieve good results in the 10th Gods of Destruction Summit. If only Kahn could win this year's Gods of Destruction Summit and let the big Gods of Destruction staff claim his master. Although Vados also knows that this is almost impossible. It's okay to be the champion of the Gods of Destruction Summit, but it's not so difficult for the big Gods of Destruction staff to recognize the owner. It can be said that at the current level of Gods of Destruction, wanting to recognize the master of the great Gods of Destruction staff is like a wealthy loli on the list of young riders who have hit the streets, and since then they have reached the pinnacle of life and no longer have to write novels. Certain difficulty. Xeno Palace. Grand Priest is holding a large angel-long staff and a picture is emerging on the crystal ball at the top. It's the Gods of Destruction Summit that's happening in the big Gods of Destruction world. It seems that the champion of this year's Gods of Destruction Summit has been announced. For the first time to participate in the Gods of Destruction Summit, Gods of Destruction beat the crowd to win the championship. For Kahn, a human being, it is already very good. For Kahn, the son-in-law, Priest Yin gradually became satisfied. If Kahn can make the big Gods of Destruction staff recognize the Lord, then he thinks he will really recognize Kahn as the son-in-law. After all, as a human being, no matter how powerful he is not worthy of Vados as an angel. If you want the great Gods of Destruction staff to recognize its owner, it does not rely on great strength, nor does it depend on conditions such as talent or potential, but great palace of Gods of Destruction. Kahn's imposing voice resounded throughout the venue. Domineering, enduring. Challenge 4 Gods of Destruction at the same time in the final round, unprecedented. Not to mention the final result. Just this courage, and courage is enough to convince people. After Kahn defeated Quitela, The gods did not dare to ridicule Kahn again when he uttered such arrogant words. Instead, I was deeply impressed by Kahn's confidence and courage. This is the case in the world of Dragon Ball. The strong are respected. If you want people to look up to you, you need to show convincing power. This is especially true in the system of gods ruled by Zeno. Take the simplest example. Gods of Destruction and Supreme Kai have a symbiotic relationship at the same level, but have you seen that Beerus has seen the Supreme Kai of the 7th universe? The old Supreme Kai Peter Toro was even sealed in the Supreme Kai sword for 75 million years because he angered Beerus, and he hasn't released it yet. In the original book, Beerus even treats Zin as a younger brother. These are all status gaps brought about by great power. Are you going to challenge 4 gods of destruction at once? Makarita said with interest. I hope you don't capsize in the gutter, dear. As for the 4 Champa who were challenged by Kahn, they couldn't believe their ears. What is Kahn saying? Want to challenge the 4 of them? Is your kid going to heaven? In the past, so many gods of destruction summits. Strong players like Beerus and Quitela have never challenged 4 gods of destruction at once, and have always won steadily. We seem to be underestimated. It's time to teach him a lesson. 5th Universe Gods of Destruction. Eric narrowed his eyes slightly. He does not deny that Kahn is very strong, but to challenge the 4 gods of destruction at the same time, it is a bit overconfident. Hey, what do you say? Champa Kanchai also 3 gods of destruction. None of the Champas think they can beat Kahn if they go it alone, but not necessarily if they join forces. Tread. The 2nd Universe Gods of Destruction. Geras took the lead on the ring. As gods of destruction, I can't be underestimated by a gods of destruction candidate. Arak and Sidra also took the stage one after another. They have the same thoughts as Champa. Going it alone, they will never be Kahn's opponents. If Kahn chooses to play steadily, then the champion of this Gods of Destruction summit can basically be reserved for Kahn. But now Kahn is threatening to challenge all 4 of them at once. This gives them a chance to reverse the situation. As long as they can defeat Kahn, they will each get 1 point, and it will be hard to say who will win the championship. Immediately afterwards, Champa also entered the ring. The 4 of them formed a fan shape, facing Kahn in a 2-way confrontation. Kahn, if you only challenged 1 person, you might be the champion of this Gods of Destruction summit. Champa smiled sinisterly. Clearly, Champa was laughing at Kahn's overreach. The man named Kahn, you should be very clear. If you lose, your points will become -3. Geras then said. 220, of course I know. How could Kahn not be clear about this point? If he loses, the points will become -3, and he will completely miss the championship only. What kind of waves do you think 4 people can make by working together? Kahn stretched out a hand and said confidently, 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, if there is still one of you standing on the ring or not falling down, I will lose. As soon as this remark came out, everyone in the audience was shocked. This can no longer be called arrogance, it is arrogant. Beat 4 gods of destruction team-ups in 5 minutes. Dare you blow it any harder, regardless of whether Kahn is defiant or really has this confidence. The ruthless words have been released, and after 5 minutes, if there are still people standing on the ring or not falling down, if Kahn does not take the initiative to admit defeat, then he will be pushed to the forefront in an instant, and he will be branded as an infamy that does not count for words. Forever. I really can't do anything about you. I said I should be conservative, but I'm still so impulsive in the end. Wise also rubbed his forehead with a headache. Originally, it was sure to win the championship of this year's Gods of Destruction Summit if it was steady and steady, so that's it. The cruel words have already been thrown out, and Kahn just wants to take them back. Now, he can only hope that Kahn really has this self-confidence rather than impulsive. PS. The 7th one will be delivered. Please ask for flowers. Chapter 73 Kahn and -039's King Bomb. 1 move determines the outcome. Seek full order. Chapter 73 Kahn's King Bomb. One move determines the outcome. In the arena, the battle is imminent. Champa, Geras, Arak, and Sidra looked at each other. Then the four of them surrounded Kahn in a four-sided manner. Do you think four people can become a success together? Kahn is unafraid. He stomped his feet, and the billowing purple energy flames swept in all directions like a fire dragon, exuding destructive waves. The faces of Champa's four changed dramatically, because above the purple energy flame they felt a dangerous breath. Immediately, the four of Champa didn't dare to make a big deal and retreated violently next second. Kahn rushed out of the purple energy flame and came straight to Champa. Asshole, why me? There are obviously four people. Why did you pick me to fight? With a teasing arc on the corner of Kahn's mouth, he said, Paraments, you have to be soft laugh. Champa's eyelids twitched fiercely, and he said angrily, Stop looking down on people. Then Champa gritted his teeth, clenched his claws into a fist, and slammed his fist at Kahn's face angrily. Kahn didn't even dodge, and also punched him head-on. Boom. Two fists collide. The terrifying power from Kahn's fist made Champa's arm numb, and then fell from midair to the ring at a 40-degree angle. There is a flaw. While Kahn fought off Champa, Arak and Sidra attacked Kahn from behind. Call out. When Kahn fell from the sky, an arrow with destructive power carried a long purple tail flame and shot at Kahn's back with the momentum of thunder. When the arrows with destructive power came, Kahn suddenly exploded and hovered in the air, then tapped the void with his toes, and swept up again. The arrow fired by Gods of Destruction Beerus also missed. As I said just now, within 5 minutes if there are still some of you standing on the ring, or if you haven't fallen down, I will lose. Looking down at the four Champas below, Kahn's purple pupils flashed sharply. I won't play with you anymore, I will finish you all at once. Bluff. Arak disagrees. Take out all four of them at once. Gods of Destruction? What a big deal. If it's a fight to the death, it's hard to say who will win, but 5 minutes, how is this possible? No matter how good the four of them are, they cannot all be defeated within 5 minutes. After all, they are Gods of Destruction. They are the ceilings of their respective universes, the supreme rulers. It's really hard to pinch them as mud. Therefore, in the eyes of the Champa 4, Kahn has lost. The rest of Gods of Destruction are also holding the mentality of watching the show. They also want to see how Kahn can defeat the Champa 4 at once. Not even Beerus and Quitela can do it. Although Kahn did defeat Quitela just now, it doesn't mean that he already has the powerful strength to instantly kill 4 Gods of Destruction. Kahn didn't explain much, just flashed a chilling smile. Immediately afterwards, Kahn stretched out his hands and volleyed at the 4 of Champa below. The endless purple energy quickly condensed, forming a high-speed rotating purple energy vortex in Kahn's palm. Above the purple energy vortex, there are extremely terrifying energy fluctuations, and this energy fluctuation is still increasing, which means that N is still pouring energy into this energy vortex. Boom! In the next second, this purple energy vortex suddenly exploded. A purple energy vortex with a diameter of several meters appeared in the sight of the gods. What kind of trick is this? What a terrifying energy! Is there no limit to his strength? Is this guy really just a candidate for Gods of Destruction? 11 The faces of the gods changed drastically, and they stared at Kahn in disbelief. Just feeling the fluctuations emitted by the purple energy vortex made the gods feel scalp numb. Not to mention picking up Kahn himself. They couldn't imagine how a mere candidate for Gods of Destruction could possess such terrifying power. In the arena, under the purple energy vortex with a diameter of several meters, all 4 of Champa felt an extremely dangerous atmosphere and unparalleled pressure. Champa's forehead was dripping with cold sweat, and he said in a deep voice, It seems that this kid is really planning to get rid of us all with one move. It is undeniable that this force is very strong, but if the 4 of us join forces, the outcome is hard to say. Arak put his hands on his back and narrowed his eyes slightly. It is impossible for any of them to take Kahn's move. But with the four of them joining forces, there are a few more possibilities. There is no other way at the moment. Sidra looked dignified, as if facing a formidable enemy. If Kahn's move fails, they will have no way out and can only fight against Kahn. Either lose or win. Buzz buzz. The purple energy vortex rotating at high speed caused the surrounding space to appear extremely distorted. There are also dark red lightning flashes constantly on it, which is shocking. Kahn stood in the air, looking down at the four of Champa from a high position. If you can take this move, I will automatically admit defeat. In order to avoid falling out of the ring due to a sneak attack, Kahn did not intend to fight with Champa and the others. In close combat, even if you are immortal, you can fight the Champa 4 head-on without losing, but if you are attacked and fall out of the ring, it would be ridiculous. So from the very beginning, that's what Kahn intended. A direct confrontation ends the battle. Either they lose or they lose next second. Kahn's eyes froze suddenly, and a very imposing voice resounded throughout the venue. Come on, let's decide the outcome. Space Annihilation Cannon. Boom! Accompanied by Kahn's deep shout, a 3-meter diameter space annihilation cannon surrounded by dark red lightning blasted out. The space annihilation cannon pierced the space, and the space around it was shattered wherever it passed. A shocking space crack is left along the way. The space annihilation bombarded Setsuna, and all the gods present gasped in horror. Even Jew Angel frowned. Let's fight together, we have no way out. Sidr shouted loudly, pulling the three of Champa back from the shock. This moment got Zhao. Only then did the three of Champa realize that Kahn's space annihilation cannon was heading for them. This bastard, Kahn, actually hid such a trick. Under the terrifying pressure of the space annihilation cannon, Champa's face completely darkened. He didn't expect Kahn to hide such a nirvana, and he hid it so securely. To use it at this time, for them, it is simply King Bomb. In the next second, Champa didn't have time to think too much, and quickly blasted out a burst of destructive energy, which merged with the destructive energy of Sidra and the other three in midair. The 4 destructive energies converge to form a more powerful destructive energy whose diameter overwhelms the space annihilation cannon head-on. It's too late to say it. Just a blink of an eye. The space annihilation cannon issued by Kahn, and the destructive energy blasted by the 4 gods of destruction of Champa together, meet as shocking as sparks hit the earth. Boom! The Setsuna where the 2 energies collided, a loud noise exploded like thunder. Chapter 74, Dragon God Salama takes action. The champion is out. Seek full order. Chapter 74, the Dragon God Salama takes the move. The champion is out. Boom! Setsuna collided with the space annihilation cannon and destructive energy, and a terrifying shock wave capable of destroying the universe swept the entire venue. The angels on the stone platform opened their energy shields one after another to avoid being directly impacted by this shock wave. Inside the protective cover, the eyes of the 7 gods of destruction and the 12 angels are all focused on the intersection of the 2 energies, and the purple-black radiance shines on the entire venue. Kaila! Kaila! As the 2 energies eroded each other, violent lightning flickered continuously. For a while, there was a stalemate. It's deadlocked. Can you compete with the 4 gods of destruction with your own strength? What a terrifying guy. When did the humans of the 7th universe become so strong? Seeing this appalling scene, cold sweat gradually broke out on the foreheads of the gods. Kahn, who is only a candidate for Gods of Destruction, can already rival 4 gods of destruction. If he is really allowed to become Gods of Destruction, coupled with the blessing of the power of destruction, I'm afraid that when 11 of them play Gods of Destruction together, it may not be Kahn's alignment. Boom! The arena was mid-empty, and the 2 energies were still engaged in a fierce confrontation. You push me to block, very fierce. Hey, it's not good to go on like this. Increase your strength. At present, none of the 4 of them have achieved a clear advantage when they teamed up, so Champa became anxious. Stop talking nonsense, I'm adding. Arak gritted his teeth. Now is not the time to be lazy. Although the four of them have their own little thoughts, but in front of the common enemy, they don't dare to hold back anymore. They draw out all the destructive energy in their bodies and pour them in continuously. With the four of Champa no longer holding hands, the stalemate was broken. The space annihilation cannon actually began to shrink at a speed visible to the naked eye. The situation has changed. Seeing the scene, the gods tensed up even more physically and mentally, holding their breath. Humph. Go back to me. Boom. With Kahn's uninterrupted injection of energy, the space annihilation cannon swelled a circle and at the same time stabilized the original disadvantaged situation, and there were faint signs of pushing back. This situation of you coming and going lasted for several minutes. The aura of the four elephants Sejegpa has gradually become sluggish, which means that the energy in their bodies has almost been exhausted. Look at Kahn again. Not only did the aura not drop, but it was even stronger than before. Some moment. There was a faint light in Kahn's purple eyes, and he shouted, "It's over." Boom! The moment the words fell, the space annihilation cannon expanded again, and the energy fluctuations contained in it reached a new height again. It has surpassed the combined destructive energy of the four gods of destruction of Champa. Then, the gods were shocked to see that Kahn's space annihilation cannon pushed back the destructive energy wave blasted by the four gods of destruction of Champa at a speed visible to the naked eye. The space annihilation cannon grew bigger and bigger in the eyes of the four Champas and gradually covered the four Champas with a look of despair. At this moment, they already knew that they had lost. 10 seconds later, the space annihilation cannon completely defeated the destructive energy and fell on the four of Champa. The four of Champa could see in despair that every time the space annihilation cannon fell, the space along the way collapsed inch by inch. The breath of death lingers in my heart. If the front is hit by this space annihilation cannon, they will have no bones left. On the nick of time, the ethereal and sacred voice of the dragon god Salama resounded through the venue again. Champa, Arak, Geras, Sidra lost, Kahn won. Kahn gets 4 points. Champa, Arak, Geras, Sidra deduct 1 point each. Immediately afterwards, a 9-color light containing the supreme dragon power came through the space, shining on Kahn's space annihilation cannon. Under the illumination of the 9-color light, the space annihilation is invisible at a speed visible to the naked eye. The broken space was also quickly repaired. Until the moment they were rescued, the four of Champa were still haunted by death, unable to recover for a long time. Unexpectedly, the dragon god Salama-sama actually made a move himself. Hey, this is the first time in so many Gods of Destruction summits. Sir Salama, the dragon god, personally took action, the kid from the 7th universe. It's really impressive. Almost everyone did not expect that the dragon god Salama would personally make a move. In the 1,999,998 Gods of Destruction summits held in the past, none of them reached the point where the dragon god Salama needed to take action. Moreover, if the dragon god Salama hadn't made a timely move just now, I'm afraid that the four of Champa would not even have any scum left. Now, no one dared to doubt Kahn's arrogant words before the game. If it weren't for the dragon god Salama, Kahn might have stepped on the bones of the four Champas and climbed to the top of the altar of the great gods of destruction call. Until this moment, Kahn breathed a sigh of relief. Back to the ring. Champa and the others also came back to their senses. Just now, it seems that the dragon god Salama saved them. Otherwise, they would be Kahn's ghosts by now. Looking at Kahn again, the eyes of the four of Champa were filled with deep fear. This guy really dares to be cruel a long time. Arak sighed for a long time and said with a depressed face, "Young people are better than blue, I abstain." It seems that I have no chance, so I will abstain. Sidra also abstained accordingly. TCH, I will give you the championship this time. Champa snorted arrogantly, then fled back to the stone platform of the 6th universe. including 1 point from the victory over Quitela just now. Kahn now has a total of 5 points. With such a large score gap, it is meaningless to continue the next 4 games. Several people in Champa knew very well that they had no chance to surpass Kahn again. Although there were only 2 challenges in the final round, the champion of this year's Gods of Destruction Summit has been announced now. With 5 points in his hand, Kahn, who is superior to the 5 players in Quitela, has undoubtedly become the focus of attention of the audience. Finally, we haven't lost the face of our 7th universe. Looking at Kahn standing in the middle of the ring like a king, Wise couldn't help but have a look of pride and satisfaction on his face. How many times has Beerus stood in the position of champion after being the champion? But Kahn now is more dazzling than Beerus at that time. In the final round, they climbed to the top with a huge advantage of 5 points, directly breaking the points record for the final round of nearly 2 million Gods of Destruction Summits. This champion is well-deserved. Chapter 75, The Great Gods of Destruction Staff Recognizes the Lord. Climb to the top of the Great G. Chapter 75, The Great Gods of Destruction Staff Recognizes the Lord. Climb to the Great Gods of Destruction altar. This should be the first highlight moment in Mr. Kahn's life. It really makes people's hearts surge and blood boil, dear. Makarita's beautiful eyes stared at Kahn's back, and a flash of light flashed by. If other Gods of Destruction won the championship of this year's Gods of Destruction Summit, then she still feels nothing. However, Kahn, as the candidate of Gods of Destruction, became the darkest dark horse of this Gods of Destruction Summit. No one competes with it. This has never happened in previous Gods of Destruction Summits. This is an unprecedented time. There is no one before, and it is estimated that there will be no more comers in the follow-up at the same time. The 1,999,999th Gods of Destruction Summit ended successfully. The Gods of Destruction candidate Dacheng from the 7th universe won the championship of this Gods of Destruction Champions Summit as the voice of the dragon god Salama fell. The gods and angels on the stone platform bowed to Kahn one after another. To show respect to the champion of this Gods of Destruction Summit, Kahn took a deep breath, then looked in the direction of the 7th universe stone platform, smiled slightly at Wise, and said, "Fortunately, we didn't embarrass our 7th universe." Wise also gave a slight glance and cast a look of admiration and appreciation towards Kahn. Whoever wins the championship will have a chance to recognize the Lord without Gods of Destruction. Thump thump. A staircase glowing with sacred purple gold light stretched from the edge of the arena to the large altar of Gods of Destruction directly behind the arena. It is like a celestial road at the apex of the universe, which makes people awe-inspiring. This year's champion, Kahn, the 7th universe Gods of Destruction candidate, please follow the steps to the top of the Great Gods of Destruction altar. Call. Taking a deep breath and adjusting his nervousness slightly, Kahn looked up at the big Gods of Destruction altar on the top of the stairs, and there was a touch of fire in his eyes as dark as the night sky. "Great staff of Gods of Destruction, I am coming." After the words fell, Kahn took a big step and stepped onto the first step of the purple gold ladder. The gods tense as Kahn steps up the steps to the great altar of the Gods of Destruction. As a newcomer who participated in the Gods of Destruction Summit for the first time, he swept the major Gods of Destruction Summits all the way as a dark horse and won the championship of this Gods of Destruction Summit. It has to be said that Kahn's performance at this Gods of Destruction Summit was indeed outstanding. But it is as difficult as climbing the sky to make the great Gods of Destruction staff recognize its master. Although most people don't think that Kahn can make the big Gods of Destruction staff recognize the owner, but before the final result comes out, no one dares to be sure. Because they've been slapped enough by Kahn just now. Shout, "Yellow-haired boy, if you have the ability, you really pull out the big Gods of Destruction staff and recognize the Lord. Otherwise I will call the name of yellow-haired boy away." Although Kahn really exceeded everyone's expectations, he won the crown of this year's Gods of Destruction Summit. But Quitela still doesn't think Kahn has the ability to make the great Gods of Destruction staff recognize the master. He has tried more than 300,000 times, and he knows how difficult it is. The most important and crucial point is that he made a bet with Kahn before that. If Kahn really let the big Gods of Destruction staff recognize the owner, then he has to change his name to Rat Tail Juice. Quitela didn't understand the meaning of the name, but it didn't sound like a good name either. Tread with Kahn's feet off the last piece of the purple gold stairway, officially ascend the great Gods of Destruction altar. This moment, an incomparable divine coercion struck, causing Kahn's face to change, and he had an urge to kneel down. Not simple. Kahn's eyes narrowed slightly, knowing that it would not be an easy task for the great Gods of Destruction staff to recognize its master. Otherwise, it would not be his turn to try. Among the nearly 2 million Gods of Destruction summits in the past, Gods of Destruction, the previous champion, has long been given the upper hand. After taking a deep breath, Kahn continued to walk along the steps of the altar. Climb to the top of the great Gods of Destruction altar. Gazing closely at the large staff of Gods of Destruction inserted in the pure gold stone platform, Kahn felt a strong sense of awe in his heart, almost making him want to kneel down and worship. The purple gold light emitted from the big Gods of Destruction staff is even more dazzling, shining brightly. Sure enough, gazing at the large staff of Gods of Destruction bursting with purple gold light, Kahn's eyes became more and more fiery. Just as Kahn ascended the summit of the great Gods of Destruction altar, Xeno Palace. The Grand Priest is watching Kahn, who has ascended the altar of the great Gods of Destruction, through the great angel staff. Great staff of Gods of Destruction, ask for flowers. Grand Priest said to himself, the way to make the great Gods of Destruction staff recognize its master does not require great strength, but a self-centered heart and a firm will. Kahn, I wonder if you have the potential to become the master of the great Gods of Destruction staff. Simply put, in Setsuna holding the big Gods of Destruction staff, the big Gods of Destruction staff will release a supreme divine coercion. Under this supreme divine coercion, the willpower is not firm enough, and will kneel down on the spot, surrender to the great staff of Gods of Destruction. For in the eyes of the great Gods of Destruction staff, those who try to make it recognize their masters are all insects, crawling and trembling under my supreme coercion, unless you can withstand the supreme coercion released by the big Gods of Destruction staff, and surpass the big Gods of Destruction staff in momentum, and firmly believe that you are its master. Only then is it possible for the big Gods of Destruction to let the big Gods of Destruction, the staff of destruction, surrendered willingly. 0. And it's only possible to have the great Gods of Destruction staff recognized as Lord. Of course, it is really too difficult to resist not surrendering under the supreme pressure of the big Gods of Destruction staff. Keep a clear mind and surpass the big Gods of Destruction staff in terms of momentum. Otherwise, the Gods of Destruction Summit would not have held so many sessions. Hey, I can guarantee that as soon as this yellow-haired boy holds the big Gods of Destruction staff, he will be so suppressed by the coercion released by the big Gods of Destruction staff that he can't even lift his head. Quitela gloated. He seemed to have seen the end of Kahn. This is what happened to him when he won the Gods of Destruction Summit for the first time. After trying more than 300,000 times, Quitela still can't overcome the coercion of the big Gods of Destruction staff, because the coercion released by the big Gods of Destruction staff is too terrifying. In the face of the supreme coercion of the great staff of Gods of Destruction, Quitela felt as small as an ant. Although it failed more than 300,000 times, this did not stop Kyuishi's fanatical pursuit of the great Gods of Destruction staff. He always believed that one day he would be able to conquer the great staff of Gods of Destruction and make him willingly recognize the Lord call. Next second, Kahn took a step forward and then stretched out his strong right palm, under the gaze of the gods, angels, and Grand Priest. He suddenly grasped the great staff of Gods of Destruction inserted on the pure gold stone platform on the top of the altar of Gods of Destruction. Chapter 76. My God. The big staff of Gods of Destruction was pulled out. Seek full order. Chapter 76. My God. The big Gods of Destruction staff was pulled out. With Setsuna holding the large staff of Gods of Destruction, Kahn's mind went blank for an instant. His people are still in the great palace of Gods of Destruction, but his consciousness has long drifted to a void. In front of it is a black shadow that seems to run through the sky and the earth, covering the sky and the sun. He is high above, as if he is the supreme existence in this world. The terrifying coercion emanating from it made the world eclipsed by it. Are you the ant who came to challenge me this time? Kneel down. Boom. The incomparably terrifying coercion that made people tremble instantly acted on Kahn Thump. Suppressed by the supreme coercion, Kahn instantly felt as if he was being crushed by a mountain, and immediately knelt down on one knee. Under the supreme coercion, Kahn could clearly feel that even his soul was trembling violently, as if he was afraid of this supreme terrifying existence. Ants who don't know how to live or die get out of 160. Seeing that Kahn was already kneeling on the ground, Sombra seemed to have lost interest. You say who will let it go? Suddenly, Kahn's head, which was deeply pressed because of the supreme coercion exerted on him, raised it up again, trembling slightly. I saw the blue veins on Kahn's face and forehead bursting out, making Kahn look extremely hideous only. At the corner of Kahn's mouth, there was a confident arc. He forcibly carried the supreme coercion emanating from the black shadow, exerted all his strengths, and finally raised the head that had been deeply lowered. Kahn raised his head again and looked at the black shadow running through the sky and the earth. There was no fear in his eyes as black as the night sky. It is an unwavering will and self-confidence. When he first felt this supreme pressure, Kahn found himself trembling. It was trembling of fear. Fear from the depths of the soul. But soon, Kahn figured it out. At the beginning, even when facing the Grand Priest, he didn't feel any fear, but the reason why he feels fear now is because this black shadow running through the sky and the earth is playing tricks. What is the source of human fear? From unknown. Human beings may be afraid of many things as well as people and things. But the greatest fear of human beings comes from the unknown. The unknown is always the most frightening. This mysterious black shadow did not show its true face, coupled with the supreme coercion. That's why Kahn's body felt subconsciously terrified. Fear of the unknown. And the best way to overcome fear is to face it, immediately afterwards. Under the watchful eyes of the mysterious shadow, Kahn raised his head and slowly stood up again. This process lasted for several minutes. But in the process of getting up again, Kahn was like a mountain, under the supreme coercion, standing still. At last, Kahn stood up straight, then raised his head and chest, staring at the mysterious black figure without fear. The mysterious black figure seemed surprised. Fearless ants, all your efforts are like a joke in the old eyes. Boom. Another even more terrifying supreme coercion shrouded down. Only this time, Kahn is like a pinnacle in the storm. No matter how coercive the mysterious black shadow exerted, Kahn still stood there straight, without even frowning. In the eyes of Kahn, the coercion that seems to be a mysterious black shadow is nothing impossible. Seeing this scene, the mysterious black shadow finally let out a horrified voice. HMPH. With a little coercion, you want me to kneel down and admit defeat. Kahn shrugged and said domineeringly, even if Xeno and Grand Priest stand in front of me, I will not have any fear or fear, let alone a mere magic staff. Click, click. As Kahn's voice fell, cracks appeared in this world and it was on the verge of collapse. Seeing this, Kahn pursued the victory. An astonishing aura erupted from the body, and the supreme coercion released by the mysterious black shadow disappeared at this moment. Great staff of Gods of Destruction. Kahn looked at the mysterious black figure with a firm will and an aura like a rainbow. From now on, I'm your master, I'm the great Gods of Destruction, and I will surrender quickly. Click, click. There are more and more cracks in this space. Do not. The mysterious black shadow panicked, as if making the last resistance. I am the great Gods of Destruction, you are just a human ant, why should you let me surrender? His words were very domineering, but his flustered tone exposed his heart. just because I am the great gods of destruction. If you hesitate, you will lose. At this critical moment, Kahn launched a fierce offensive again and again. It's just a staff. Why don't you surrender after seeing the gods of destruction? Boom! At this moment, this piece of space that was already on the verge of collapse was completely shattered. The mysterious black shadow straddling the sky and the earth shrank rapidly and finally turned into a purple gold staff, which plundered into Kahn's hands at the same time. The palace of the great gods of destruction, the summit of the great gods of destruction altar. I saw that Kahn, who was holding the big purple gold gods of destruction staff, suddenly opened his eyes, and there was a purple gold light looming in the eyes that were as dark as the night sky next second. The purple gold rays of light blooming on the big gods of destruction staff suddenly flourished. Under the shocking eyes of the gods and the angels, Kahn exerted a little force, and the purple gold staff inserted into the pure gold stone platform at a 45-degree angle was pulled out by Kahn at a speed visible to the naked eye. Kahn holds the great staff of gods of destruction and stands atop the great gods of destruction altar. Immediately afterwards, an aura containing supreme divine power swept across the audience in an instant. Feeling this supreme divine power, the faces of the gods changed drastically and their minds were shocked. Oh my god! The big staff of gods of destruction has been pulled out. It's fake. How is this possible? Impossible. How could this guy con? The gods were beyond shocked by this scene. Each of them has tried countless times. Even after experiencing so many times, they will still be defeated in an instant in the face of that supreme divine coercion. Because the supreme divine coercion is too terrifying, it makes them feel like Xeno and Grand Priest, and it makes them feel a strong sense of fear that cannot be overcome in the depths of their hearts. All the gods couldn't believe it. How did Kahn overcome the fear brought about by that divine coercion, and how did he make the great gods of destruction staff recognize his master? However, the facts were in front of them, and they couldn't help but not believe it. In the next second, the gods could no longer stand calmly on the stone platform. Immediately, they knelt down on both knees and bowed out deeply in the direction of Kahn. They did not worship Kahn, but the great staff of gods of destruction in Kahn's hand, because even if you pull out the great gods of destruction staff, it only proves that you have obtained the approval of the great gods of destruction staff. In the end, you still need the godhead and priesthood of the great gods of destruction from the Lord. After that is the real big gods of destruction. 1.0 It can be said, letting the great gods of destruction staff recognize the Lord is a pass to ascend to the priesthood of the great gods of destruction. Quitela and other gods knelt deeply on the stone platform. Their hearts were already shocked beyond measure. No one expected that the great gods of destruction staff, which the gods tried nearly 2 million times but failed to conquer, was actually conquered by a Kahn who came to the Gods of Destruction Summit for the first time. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, no one would have believed that Kahn could actually pull out the big staff of gods of destruction and make him recognize the Lord. Especially Quitela. At this moment his heart is not only shocked, but also fearful. Kahn succeeded in getting the great gods of destruction's staff to recognize the owner, which means that Kahn will inevitably become the real great gods of destruction, that is, their immediate boss, in the near future. And he just got into trouble with Kahn again. When Kahn takes office as the big gods of destruction, I still don't know how to deal with him. And that's it. From now on, Quitela, may really change its name to Mouse Tail Juice. Chapter 77 Is Kahn going to be the gods of destruction? Shocked Vados. Seek full order. Chapter 77 Kahn is going to be the gods of destruction? Shocked Vados. Top of the great gods of destruction altar. Kahn held the big purple and gold gods of destruction staff, and his excited heart could not calm down for a long time. Even he himself didn't expect that he had unknowingly found a way to make the big gods of destruction staff recognize its master. Originally, I just came here with the mentality of giving it a try. Who knew the great staff of gods of destruction would want him to kneel and submit? Kahn couldn't take it anymore. Judging from the scale of the entire Dragon Ball world, Kahn's current strength may not be called the top row of the pyramid, but he is born with a tough bone and cannot kneel down. Let alone a big Gods of Destruction staff, he didn't kneel down when he met the Grand Priest. You are just a staff, why should I kneel down for you? In order not to humiliate himself, Kahn had to conquer the great staff of Gods of Destruction. Come to yourself. Kahn glanced at the gods who were bowing in his direction, and Kahn murmured, So, am I considered the great Gods of Destruction now? No, not yet. Just at this time. A gentle and humble voice suddenly sounded. Looking along the source of the sound, 29 a purple space vortex slowly emerged from Kahn's line of sight. Peering along with the space vortex, there is also the Grand Priest with a humble face and kind eyebrows. Yes, it is Lord Grand Priest. Bye. When the Grand Priest descended, the gods bowed tremblingly in the direction of the Grand Priest. Before Kahn officially became the Grand Gods of Destruction, in the minds of the Gods of Destruction, the Grand Priest was more majestic. Meet Lord Grand Priest. The 12 guides, Angel, also bowed slightly to show respect to the Grand Priest. The Grand Priest gods nodded and said kindly, This summit of Gods of Destruction is over, let the gods leave first. Snapped. The Grand Priest snapped his fingers, and the 11 Gods of Destruction and 12 guide angels were immediately sent out of the Grand Gods of Destruction world. After finishing all this, Grand Priest turned his head and said to Kahn, Mr. Kahn, congratulations for being the first person to recognize the Lord of the Great Gods of Destruction staff. The Great Gods of Destruction Palace has been empty for hundreds of millions of years. Welcome to its first owner. Also, regarding your question just now, let me tell you in detail. First of all, please give me the staff temporarily what? Hearing this, Kahn was taken aback. Although I don't know why, Kahn still gave the Grand Priest the power of Gods of Destruction in his hand. After accepting the big Gods of Destruction staff, Grand Priest explained, Mr. Kahn, because the big Gods of Destruction staff has been unknown for a long time, the divine power contained in this big Gods of Destruction staff one of the best moments. I will help you restore the divine power of the great staff of Gods of Destruction to its peak state, which will take 10 to 20 years. After the divine power of the great Gods of Destruction's staff has returned to its peak, you still need to practice under the guidance of the great Gods of Destruction's exclusive guide and become familiar with the great Gods of Destruction's exclusive power, as well as the responsibilities of the great Gods of Destruction. Afterwards, when everything is ready, Master Zeno will summon the gods and officially grant you the priesthood of the great Gods of Destruction. Hearing this, Kahn nodded thoughtfully. I see. That is, he is only a quasi-big Gods of Destruction right now, and it will take a while before he can become a real big Gods of Destruction. Kahn is in no rush. And he also feels that now is not the time to be a big Gods of Destruction. It would be good to have 10 to 20 years of preparation time. In this way, I can take advantage of this time to spend time with my 2 wives certainly. The most important thing is to give birth to your offspring first. After a pause, Kahn asked again, Master Grand Priest, may I ask who Y is the exclusive troublemaker of Gods of Destruction? Grand Priest shook his head and smiled. No. What? The exclusive guide of the great Gods of Destruction is not any angel, but the dragon god Salama who created the great Gods of Destruction world. You can look forward to it. The exclusive guide of the great Gods of Destruction is the dragon god Salama. Seeing Kahn's surprised expression, Grand Priest smiled and said, Okay, Mr. Kahn, when you return to the world of Gods of Destruction, you will be the owner of this place. Now you go talk to Wise. Let's go back to the 7th universe together. Then, Grand Priest snapped his fingers again, sending the surprised Kahn out of the Gods of Destruction world. After sending Kahn out of the Gods of Destruction world, Grand Priest suddenly showed a satisfied smile. In fact, The Grand Priest has long since concluded the reason why no Gods of Destruction was able to successfully make the great Gods of Destruction legal right to recognize the Lord in the nearly 2 million Gods of Destruction summits in the past. The main reason is that these Gods of Destruction are extremely afraid of their superiors, so they can't overcome the sacred coercion and fear imposed by the big Gods of Destruction staff. If you can't overcome the fear, then it is impossible to surpass the big Gods of Destruction staff in terms of momentum. This is the main reason, not because the Gods of Destruction are not powerful enough. However, Kahn managed to make the big Gods of Destruction staff recognize the Master once, which was completely beyond the Grand Priest's expectations. The Gods of Destruction tried hundreds of thousands of times but failed to overcome the fear and coercion. Kahn actually did it right the first time. This also just shows Kahn's excellence. Perhaps Kahn is the owner of the staff of the great Gods of Destruction who has been waiting for eons. Come back to God. The Grand Priest summoned his large angel longstaff and called softly, Vados, can you hear 973? I am Grand Priest, please respond. Buzz buzz. The crystal ball on the top of the big angel's long staff flickered for a few seconds, and Vados' pretty face with a changed skin color emerged. Father Ano, Lord Grand Priest, are you here to inform me of Kahn's achievements at this Gods of Destruction summit? Vados hit the nail on the head. Yes. Grand Priest nodded slightly and said with a light smile, this is good news for you. Kahn has won the championship of this year's Gods of Destruction Summit, and Grand Priest showed Vados the great staff of Gods of Destruction, and said with a smile, Vados, congratulations, Kahn. He successfully made the great staff of Gods of Destruction recognized as the Master. In the near future he will become the first in hundreds of millions of years big Gods of Destruction. What? Vados, who had heard that Kahn won the Gods of Destruction Summit, was already proud of Kahn. In the next second, Grand Priest actually told her that Kahn had made the great Gods of Destruction staff recognize him. Vados opened his cherry red lips in surprise and blinked in disbelief. Master Grand Priest, is what you said true? Kahn, he really succeeded in making the great Gods of Destruction staff recognize its owner? Yes, you heard correctly. Grand Priest nodded and said, Vados, congratulations on finding a good husband. Maybe this is also the fate between you and Kahn. Chapter 78 Husband, you are really amazing. Champa and -039's distress please book full. Chapter 78 Husband, you are really awesome. Vados smiled sweetly. She said, My Lord Grand Priest, do you acknowledge him now? Now I admit, Kahn is a qualified son-in-law. When Vados insisted on marrying Kahn at first, Grand Priest actually disagreed, because he felt that Kahn, as an ordinary human being, was completely incompatible with Vados in terms of identity and strength. If Vados hadn't forced him to die, Grand Priest would never have agreed to Vados' request. Because in Grand Priest's view, it is extremely unreasonable for Vados, who is an angel, to marry an ordinary human being. But now, watching Kahn grow up step by step, he no longer objected to the marriage between Vados and Kahn. When Kahn officially ascends to the position of great Gods of Destruction, Kahn will be worthy of his daughter Vados in terms of power and status. So far, the priest has officially recognized Kahn as the son-in-law. After finishing the call with Grand Priest, a tear of excitement burst out of my eyes in an instant. Watching Kahn grow from a weak human being with only 300 fighting strength back then to the present situation, Vados is also very happy for Kahn deep in his heart at the same time. She was also happy for herself. In order for Kahn to quickly improve her strength, she also spent a lot of effort. When Kahn returned to Earth from Namek, the Universe spacecraft and the meteorite impact incident were carefully planned by her. If she didn't plan an event where the Universe ship hit a meteorite, she would never have the opportunity to send Kahn to Wise to practice. If it weren't for that time, Kahn's strength would never have reached the current level. Now Vados just hopes that Kahn can understand her difficulties in doing so. If possible, she would rather Kahn never know the truth of this matter for the rest of her life. Husband, you are really wonderful. At first, Vados thought that Kahn could achieve a good result in this year's Gods of Destruction Summit, and she was very satisfied result. Kahn not only won the championship in the hands of the Gods of Destruction, but even managed to make the great Gods of Destruction staff recognize the owner. This has completely exceeded Vados' expectations. This news, for Vados, is undoubtedly a great news. First universe. Big Gods of Destruction beyond the realm. After being forcibly sent away from the world of Gods of Destruction by the Grand Priest, the gods did not leave immediately. Instead, they waited for Kahn to call out. After a while, with a flash of colorful light, Kahn's figure appeared out of thin air. Seeing Kahn coming out, the gods swarmed up in an instant. Many of them have ridiculed Kahn to a greater or lesser extent just now, and they don't know whether Kahn holds grudges or not, but for their future immediate boss. The gods felt that it was still necessary to please them. Otherwise, if he is tied up with Kahn's Liangzai after he really takes office as the Grand Gods of Destruction, then he may be the one who is unlucky. Quitela squeezed in first and tremblingly said, "Well, Mr. Kahn, I was sorry just now. I hope you will not remember the villain's mistakes and don't take it to heart." "Isn't this rat tail juice?" Kahn made a joke and then asked back, "Why? Did I give you the impression that you are such a narrow-minded person?" "Ha!" Quitela was taken aback for a moment, then immediately understood what Kahn meant. "Ha ha ha ha." Quitela showed an awkward yet polite smile and said, "How is it possible? Lord Kahn is the most generous-hearted person I have ever met." "Ah, yes, yes, yes." The rest of the gods followed suit flatteringly. Kahn smiled noncommittally and then said, "You haven't forgotten the bet just now, have you?" "No, don't dare to forget. Don't dare to forget. Lord Kahn, I am willing to bet and admit defeat. From now on, I, Quitela, will be renamed Rat Tail Juice. From now on, everyone, don't call me Quitela's name anymore, call me Mouse Tail Juice." When saying this, Quitela looked proud and complacent, without any trace of shame or humiliation at all. In order to please Kahn, Quitela also resorted to all means. "Okay, Mouse Tail Juice." Kahn suppressed a laugh. If Quitela knew the true meaning of rat tail juice, his face would turn green. After Quitela finished speaking, other gods rushed up one after another, as if they wanted to get close to him, but Kahn was not in the mood to deal with them now. So he quickly waved his hand and said, "Tired, Wise, let's go back." "Spar, Mr. Kahn." Wise bowed to the gods and angels, "Everyone, see you later talking." Wise took Kahn into a colorful long rainbow and disappeared in the deep space of the universe in a blink of an eye. Watching Kahn leave helplessly, except for Quitela, the other gods of destruction are more or less desolate in their hearts. Especially Champa. Although he looked as steady as an old dog on the surface, he was already panicking in his heart. If you want to say that everyone present has the biggest problem with Kahn, it must be him. "Master Champa, your complexion seems a little bad. Are you uncomfortable?" Alice noticed Champa's inner fluctuations, so she asked. "Ask knowingly." Champa curled her lips and couldn't hold back anymore, and said frantically, "It's over. I'm over. Alice, what should I do?" Alice pushed her glasses and gave Champa a serious note. "Master Champa, I suggest you find a time to apologize to Master Kahn. I think with Master Kahn's broad mind, I shouldn't deliberately embarrass you." "Does an apology help?" Champa frowned. He was clamoring to destroy Kahn at the beginning, and if the Grand Priest hadn't arrived in time, I'm afraid he would have done so. If Kahn just apologizes and forgives him, Champa is willing to apologize. But his intuition told him that even if he apologized to Kahn himself, it might not work. If Kahn can't be allowed to expose the incident at the beginning, when Kahn takes office as the Grand Gods of Destruction, I'm afraid he will be in bad luck. Well, judging from the situation that day, it doesn't seem to make sense. Then you still apologize? Champa was frothing, and said angrily, "Quickly think of a way for me." This stretch after thinking for a while, Alice's beautiful eyes lit up. "Lord Champa, we have it." "What?" "Say it." Isn't your last guide Angel Vados? Isn't Vados the husband of Lord Kahn? Maybe you can try to find Vados and ask her to communicate with Lord Kahn. Maybe this method will work. Yeah, hearing this, Champa suddenly realized. However, in the next second, the hope that Champa had just raised was extinguished in an instant. Alice, Vados must know about what happened last time, right? Vados has done nothing but benevolence before he came to me to settle accounts. How dare I go to her to intercede? Chapter 79 Vados gave birth. Breath of God. Seek full order. Chapter 79 Vados was born. Breath of God. Haha, Master Champa, who made you suffer on your own? Stop gloating. Come up with a reliable idea for me. The veins on Champa's forehead popped violently, and his mouth was frothy. He was in no mood to joke with Alice right now. Okay, Master Champa, Alice said with a serious face, but I always think that it is easier to find Vados than you go directly to Master Kahn. After all, Vados used to be your guide angel. I think as long as you're be sincere, Vados should forgive you. Go and intercede with Lord Kahn. I can't help but do this. Champa's ears were deaf and his face was full of depression. Now, apart from the method Alice said, it seems that there is no other better way. He didn't dare to bet whether Kahn would remember what happened that day. So to be on the safe side, Champa still had to find a way to resolve the festival with Kahn that day, otherwise. When Kahn takes the post of Gods of Destruction, let alone his position as Gods of Destruction, whether his life can be kept is still a question. On the way back to the 7th universe, Wise joked, Mr. Kahn, life is really impermanent. When you came, the gods looked down on you, but when you left, they all wanted to get close to you. 340 It's just a group of guys who are following the trend, bullying the weak and fearing the strong. Kahn shrugged, but dismissively. If it wasn't for him successfully winning the championship and letting the big Gods of Destruction staff recognize the master, he would become the quasi-big Gods of Destruction. Would Champa and Quitela, a group of arrogant guys who are usually high above them, talk to themselves in such a low voice? The answer is negative. This is the status change brought about by strength and identity. That sums it up brilliantly. Wise agrees with this. Gods of Destruction is such a creature. Follow the trend, bully the weak and fear the strong. Submissive to the Xeno and the Grand Priest, and hard on the humans in their respective universes. In fact, how different are these Gods of Destruction from Radids? In Kahn's view, the Gods of Destruction, who think they are the supreme rulers of the universe and put their heirs high above, are not even comparable to Vegeta. Go back to Beerus. Kahn didn't stay too long and returned to Earth directly. It was exactly noon when we returned to Earth. It has been 4 days since he left. Seeing Kahn coming back, Vados and Bulma greeted him immediately. Seeing that Kahn came back safe and sound, the stone hanging in Bulma's chest was finally let go. Husband, what are you doing when Wise has been looking for you? Bulma asked with concern. Kahn smiled and said softly, let's go back and talk slowly. On the sofa in the living room, Vados and Bulma sat on the left and right of Kahn. Quietly listened to Kahn talking about what happened in the world of Gods of Destruction these days daily. After listening to it, Bulma waved his small pink fist and said aggressively, as expected of my husband, I can't beat these shameless bastards to death. Although Bulma didn't understand very well, she was shocked. Haha, forget it, we can't be as narrow-minded as them, Kahn said in a very happy mood. After talking about things in the Gods of Destruction world, Vados suddenly said, by the way, husband, a man named Vegeta has been looking for you for the past few days, and he said that you owe him a favor. Are you going to meet him? Oh, you said Vegeta. It seems that there is such a thing. In the month since she married Bulma, Kahn hasn't paid attention to Vegeta's movements. This guy has really lived on Earth. As for favors, this is also true. When he was on Namek, He did promise Vegeta not to hinder Klin and Son Gohan from collecting the Dragon Ball, and gave the Dragon Ball in his hand to Son Gohan to summon Shenron. I owe him a favor. So far, this favor has not been returned to Vegeta. Just in time, let's repay Jeff Vegeta's favor this time. Kahn doesn't like to owe favors to others very much soon. Vegeta, who had been waiting for Kahn outside Magnum Capsules, was called into Magnum Capsules. Sitting in front of Kahn, Vegeta, who has always been arrogant, looked so well behaved. Vegeta, tell me, how do you want me to repay your favor? Kahn cut directly to the point. Vegeta also didn't say anything, and said straightforwardly, "It's very simple. I want to know how you cultivate. If possible, please teach me to practice for 3 months. Then you may be disappointed. I have stopped practicing recently. As for what you said about teaching you to practice for 3 months, this is not impossible, but you may have to wait for a while because I am not free recently." Originally, according to Kahn's plan, after Vados and Bulma had children, he began to teach Son Goku and Son Gohan how to practice. After all, Son Goku and Son Gohan's current strength is too weak, and they have to improve their strength faster. Otherwise, in a few years, their strength might not be able to keep up with the rhythm. It just so happened that Vegeta made this request, and adding another Vegeta at that time seems to be not too bad. In this way, Vegeta's favor is returned, which is not bad. Heard the words. Vegeta was overjoyed and asked impatiently, "How long do I have to wait?" Kahn stretched out a finger and said slowly, "At least a year." Looking at Vados and Bulma sitting next to Kahn, Vegeta instantly understood. He nodded and said, "Okay, I'll just wait on Earth for another year." "Well, you can go now. Time flies like an arrow, the sun and the moon fly like a shuttle." In the blink of an eye, a year passed quietly at the fingertips. During this year, Kahn basically stayed with his 2 wives, which was the most relaxed and leisurely time since Kahn traveled to the world of Dragon Ball. It's worth mentioning that Vados and Bulma both tested out to be pregnant about 8 months ago. Checked again later, Vados is bad for girls and Irma is bad for boys this day. Both Vados and Bulma are 10 months pregnant each, almost on the verge of giving birth. West Hospital. Outside the delivery room, Kahn and Son Goku's family waited patiently at the door. "Congratulations, Uncle Kahn, you are going to be a father." Son Gohan congratulated happily. "Haha, thank you nephew Gohan, I have loved you all these years, Uncle," Kahn said with a smile in a good mood. Rumble. As soon as Kahn finished speaking, the sky in Western Capital suddenly became cloudy. Immediately afterwards, a powerful breath of God came from the delivery room and entered Kahn's perception. All right, legends, that's it for today. If you're ready for the next chapter, smash that like button and flood the comments right now. Remember, we've got 3 days to prove this story needs to continue. Subscribe so you don't miss the drop, and I'll meet you in the next audiobook.